Drift, Tokyo Beat.
Alex, as we're all aware, Japan uniquely has 4 seasons.
Yes, that's right. We have a lot of hotels in Japan, actually.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
You got Marriott?
We literally live right next door to a Marriott.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Hilton?
Yes, that's next door to the bar.
How about a loft?
Wait. Is it called loft or a loft?
Yeah, you know the word aloft.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, there's a store called Loft.
It's owned by Marriott. It's a series of music-inspired design hotels.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess Japan does not have a loft. I'm going to cross this off the list.
No, I've never heard of Loft.
Black
a
mark
loft.
against
No.
Nihon.
Okay. We got Toyoko Inn. You know that one?
Oh yeah, makers of the Corolla, Celica, Camry.
No, that's Toyota, which is also here.
Oh, okay.
No, they're not. They're sure not.
They got the Honda Shack.
Super Hotel. We got Honda Shack.
Do you got Super 8, or I guess they would call it Super Hachi?
Super. Yes.
Yeah. Is there a Japanese Tombodette, by the way?
Oh yeah. Tamanosuke.
I think that was a No More Whoppers then.
Tamanosuke Bodemura, I want to say.
Yeah. I think we're just repeating old episodes at this point because
are we?
We had an episode called Motel Roku, and that just
oh, did we?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, let's just name hotels after previous episodes. I stayed at a Diddy Kong Memorial Library last month.
Yeah, let's just listen to those episodes.
Yeah.
Everyone else seems to do it.
Hey, my parents are in town. I'm going to put them up at the P22 a man.
It's No More Whoppers. Welcome to the show, everybody. Thanks always for listening. My name is Ray Barnhold, fa la 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 lunkhead. And with me, as always, the Teflon Don, Alex Fraioli.
Nothing sticks because I wash it off. I'm very fastidious.
You're
like
very
that.
good at bribes.
I didn't say nothing.
And offshore accounts.
Technically, yes.
I
mean, they're on the shores. They're on the shores of Japan, I guess.
Now they're just a few feet away.
Yeah.
Just off the coastline. All right. Well, here
Hi.
we are. Once again, it's
How's it
December.
Going? It is. A December to remember.
By the time we have our next episode, it won't be December. We'll be past Christmas and past New Year, I suppose. And so our pre-holiday greetings to you all.
Yeah.
This year to 2023. I hope
you have a good one.
Yes. Hope you're looking forward to a great 2024.
I am? Yes.
Especially if you're turning 24 that year.
That would mean you're born in 2000.
Who do you suppose is the youngest listener?
Much like the PlayStation 2. Probably a baby.
Really?
There's probably, yeah, I bet there's
listener?
a baby somewhere.
Someone who really wants to know what's going on with us every month.
Not just. Hey, has anybody played this show to their unborn child in the womb? Please write in.
Okay. Yeah, maybe. Well, yes. And it is also, as we're recording, December 7th, and we were watching the Game Awards tonight because that seemed like a thing to do because we're mildly interested in video games. Alex, I know you're going to talk about it later, but I just want to
we are
mention
going to. Just a little appetizer for you. I have I took notes. I have a 91-point outline.
Okay.
Of everything that happened during the Game Awards. I don't think I'm going to read off all of them, but we're going to cover all the good stuff.
I got to ask, why do you care? Why do you care that much?
What do you mean? What do you mean? Why do I care?
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Well, it
makes good content for the show, right?
Some of these things I do care about, and then yes, exactly. The rest of it is just good fodder.
Of course.
You know?
I was just kidding. But yeah, you also told me you have a hard out today, so
I do because I gotta go. I gotta go to work.
Yeah. Well, good news is no new voicemails, so we don't have to spend any more time listening to those
thank
freaks.
God. Okay. Oh, geez. Man, I forgot to call in while I was in America. I was going to call from my parent's phone.
No, you did. We had a whole episode about it.
No, I mean to the phone line.
Oh, okay. Under an alias?
Yes.
Yeah. What was that alias? What was that name you got yesterday on ChatGPT?
Fuck. Hang on.
Alex Frentz.
Yeah, it was like.
Let me see this
Hang on, I
again.
have it right here.
Let me see this again.
Yeah, Alex Frentz, and you were Raymond Kim.
Yeah. Well,
I asked ChatGPT to describe the podcast No More Whoppers, and it said, yeah, those are the hosts.
yeah.
Cool.
Now we're not. Yeah, we don't do those kind of bits here. But I just want to say, yeah, Alex Frentz was good. I liked it.
Frentz.
Alex.
Me.
Frentz.
So yeah, I'm back in Japan. I had a good trip home for Thanksgiving. I ate a lot of foods.
Welcome back. Yes.
The plane back, the ride back was fine. I watched another
The
four
ride
films.
on the plane back.
The ride.
Just perfect. Perfect. Native English speaking. Love it.
Sorry, my brain is a little fried.
Too much turkey.
Well, because I didn't sleep at all 2 nights ago.
Oh dear.
And I'm still catching up.
You were up for 48 hours is what you're saying?
No, I was up for not 48 hours.
Okay.
I was up for too long, I guess.
Did you solve any cold cases is what I was going to ask.
Yes.
All right.
I did manage to get a good night's sleep last night. A good enough night's sleep last night, but my brain is still catching up. So the good ride on the plane back happened like this. I watched 4 movies. I started off with a double feature I like to call Barble Juice. And here's how that happened. Like, I got on the flight and I'm like, I'm just gonna watch films all the way there, as I do.
Yeah.
And I turn on the entertainment unit in the seat, and there's only 7 movies.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm like, that's not a lot. I'm like, oh, am I just looking at new releases? I go to all movies, and it just lists the same 7. Like, okay, why are there only 7 films here? I'm like, all right, whatever. You know what? I'll watch I'll watch as many of these as I can. I saw that Barbie was on there, and I'd wanted to see Barbie, so I loved Barbie. Barbie was great.
Mm-hmm.
Barbie was a lot of fun.
It was all right.
But like halfway through Barbie, I noticed the guy in front of me is watching Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
And Beetlejuice was not one of the films on my entertainment thing.
Okay.
And I'm like, well, that's fishy. So I also noticed that the movie would very often get out of sync. Like the sound would rewind like 10 seconds, but the visuals would keep going.
What?
And the way you could fix it by pausing. So I would just, every 5 minutes have to quickly pause and unpause the film.
How does that even happen?
I know, something was fucked up with the entertainment unit in my seat. So I got up and I went into the galley and I found a flight attendant. I'm like, hey, the entertainment unit in my seat is just completely fucked up. Can you reset it?
Yeah.
And she says, yes, I can. So she goes over to like a monitor on the wall and she goes, tap, tap, tap. And she goes, all right, your seat 9F. Okay, I can reset it. It's also going to reset the units for like the 8 people around you. And before I can... I would feel bad if that happened. And before I can say anything, she's just like, oh, well, it's done. I'm like, okay.
Jesus Christ.
So I guess a whole bunch of people had their movies interrupted. Sorry about that. So I went back, sat down, watched Beetlejuice. Because watching it, from my position, seeing the guy in front of me watching it really made me want to see it. Because I hadn't seen it since probably the early 90s. It holds up. It's pretty good.
I've never seen it.
Oh, really?
I've seen plenty of the cartoon, which was great.
Yeah, the cartoon's weird, yeah. Movie's great. It's weird to see, like, younger Alec Baldwin. It's not Alan Baldwin.
No. He was so young, he was called Alan.
He was... very, and, like, I guess teenage Winona Ryder. I don't know. Looking pretty... Gina Davis? Young Gina Davis? It's good.
GD.
It's fun. Catherine O'Hara, I believe.
Right.
Yeah, looking good. Everyone looking good.
Good old COH.
Yeah. I also watched, for the first time ever, I can't believe I had never seen The Fifth Element, but that was also a lot of fun. Mostly for Chris Tucker.
Oh, yes, of course. Yeah. Never seen that either.
Finish it off with Across the Spider-Verse, which I was not planning to watch because when it came out, I heard it ended on a cliffhanger because it was part 2 of a trilogy. And I'm like, well, then I'll just wait for the last one and then watch them back to back because I fucking hate that shit.
Had you seen the first one?
Yes, I love the first one. But I was just so exhausted after the trip, I forgot that I didn't want to see it, so I watched it.
Okay.
It's great.
How do you be that exhausted?
I don't know, man. I was tired. I was like, oh, right, Spider-Verse, let's watch it. And it was great, except for, but I forgot about the cliffhanger until the end because I got to that point in the film where, when you're watching a movie or a TV show and you're like, there's not enough time to wrap this up. They can't. There's no way.
Yeah.
It's to be continued. And sure enough, yeah. But I'm still glad I watched it. Like, apart from that, it was incredible.
Is that an entertainment unit where you can see the progress bar?
Yeah. Yeah.
How are they going to get out of this? There's 2 minutes, 30 seconds left.
They can't get off of Gilligan's Island in 8 minutes.
No.
There's not enough time left to get smart.
You're not referring to the Gilligan's Island cast. You're referring to the Harlem Globetrotters who were
That's
on
right. Yes,
Gilligan's
of course. Yes.
They can't get off here in this amount of time, and it turns out they're the Harlem Globetrotters. Of course they can.
Of course they can. They fly around in a floating basketball.
I never saw that movie. Well, I might have seen it on the Disney Channel once on a sick day, but
You talking about Gilligan's Island or Spider-Verse?
No, Harlem Globetrotters on Gilligan's Island.
Oh, okay. Was that a whole film?
A TV movie, yeah.
Okay.
Television film.
All right. It's been preserved in the Library of Congress for being culturally significant.
I think so, yeah.
All right.
1981 was that original.
Yeah. I played a couple of games on my trip as well. I think I might have mentioned I picked up Super Mario Wonder. I got a few worlds into that, and I didn't fall off it, but I just kind of got bored with it. I'll go back to it eventually.
We were talking about that. Yeah, I was the same way. Yeah.
And because it wasn't really clicking with me, I bit on Super Mario RPG, which I recently just finished up.
Yes. And you did click.
Yesterday, actually, I finished up all the post-game content, beat the hardest boss. It's all done. It's in the books. It's fine. I was never a big Super Mario RPG fan. I don't think it's a great game, but it is still nostalgic for me, if that makes sense.
I imagine Super Mario RPG to you is like a light snack.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's it. Yeah. There's almost no challenge at all, which is... I was actually kind of pleased that the post-game bosses, I had to look up a couple of strategies for how to beat two of them because I just kept getting steamrolled.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure, but still, like Mario RPG, it's kind of short to begin with.
Yeah.
It's kind of for kids. And I mean, it can be challenging, but it's meant to be an accessible Mario game. Especially just like a little charcuterie board for you. Just nibble on that and go back to grinding whatever armor it is in FF6 that you need to get for the 100th time.
The Paladin Shield.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Go tap some buttons.
I did. Done. Yeah, it's fine. It's the redone soundtrack is also great. They've spruced up the localization as well, which is nice. I still hate timed hits, although it is kind of nice that they give you a little visual indicator now for some of them.
All right, yeah.
It's fine.
I'm fine with timed hits.
I also played. I really needed a game to play this week, just because I'm still under a lot of stress, and I'm like, I need a game. I have to relax. I need a video game. And I went on Xbox Game Pass, and I saw that they have Firewatch, which is something I'd been meaning to check out. And also pleasantly surprised that the main character is voiced by Rich Sommer, of whom I'm a big fan as well.
Yeah.
And I found that very fitting because in a way, this character has a Rich Sommer of adventure.
Yeah.
Right?
That's all I can say right now, yeah.
Have you played it?
Yes. I tweeted after it came out. It basically is like an adult version of Boku no Natsuyasumi because you like chop down trees to make a bridge. Yeah. There's some stuff that happens. Typical things.
A tree. Yeah.
Just the same thing.
Yeah, you find a corpse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
There's an implication of phone sex. Yeah, it's great.
What?
Yeah.
Where's that in Bokunatsu?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, okay. I really thought I missed something for a second there. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He just, love to see him answer. He doesn't answer the phone with Moshi Moshi. He just answers with Boku wa Boku.
Yeah.
Go for Boku. Oh, man. No, I'm going to start answering the phone with Go for Boku.
Well, now I'm glad I fooled you.
Yes. Oh, that was great.
Little River.
Plenty of that in Firewatch. Little and big rivers.
Yes, indeed.
I really enjoyed it, but it is the kind of game that, like, like a lot of games, it's really only got that impact once. I don't know if I'll be replaying it.
Right, for sure.
I saw that it's got like a developer commentary track, which seems fun. I might put that on and walk through it.
All right. Fire walk with them.
But Firewatch with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever. We workshopped it. You did better.
I noticed something about the game that I'm sure this was definitely intentional, and I like it. I think, as far as I know, at no point in the game do you ever see anyone's face rendered in game. Like, there's
Right.
no facial models.
That's right.
There's 2D drawings of people, but you never, like, even at the end when the rescue guy shows up, he's wearing like a mask, and I really like that because nothing can take me out of an experience more than seeing a janky face
Yes.
in whatever engine you're using, and I like that it kind of it left it all up to my imagination. We never even see what's her name, the other
Exactly. Yeah.
you
don't
know,
really see anybody else. I mean, even the at the beginning, those teenagers are like way in the
they're
distance.
just silhouettes. Yeah.
All very deliberate. Yeah.
Really enjoyed it. It was a
Good.
good experience.
It was
It's
all right,
very, very, I guess, very much in the vein of, I guess, what they call a walking simulator, but I like that kind of thing, so I don't mind.
I feel like that
You know?
term's fallen out of favor, but I suppose
Has
it was definitely of that time when people used it a lot. So yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
And then Xbox game. I almost played the Dead Space remake on Xbox Game Pass,
Okay.
which would have cost me nothing, and
Yes.
I decided not to because I saw that little EA icon in the corner and was like, "Oh, I'm not installing that.
Yeah.
that's never going.
We've
That's
discussed.
that's never going to be on any machine I own ever for the rest of my life." So
You're gonna have to try the console version if you want to install that and play it easily.
yeah, we're not doing that.
Yeah. No. Well, it is supposed to be good, so I mean, that's something.
Yeah, I heard it's good.
Yeah.
I'll try it eventually. I wanted to get my game talk out of the way up front because we're going to be doing a lot of game talk in segment 2.
Yeah, I have a
Talking
lot.
about the
Well, no,
the
not
game.
really.
What do you got? Hit me.
I wanted to talk about Like a Dragon a bit.
Oh yeah, you've been playing that.
Yeah. A couple of topics surrounding that series, though, is what I wanted to touch on. So, I don't know. You want to get into it?
Let's touch.
That's all right. I don't know. It'll bleed over into our first break. You want to do that?
Let's bleed. Yes.
Just like Kiryu when he gets cut. No. I guess I'll start it off with this. Have you heard about the voice controversy for Like a Dragon
No.
lately?
What is going on?
So, a couple months ago, they had announced or re-announced sort of Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth alongside Like a Dragon Gaiden. And this was at a event where they also announced that there was a new English voice for Kazuma Kiryu.
Oh,
Now,
I don't think I even know his old English voice.
Right. So back in the very first game, which was the only one to get an English dub at the time, right? So there was a guy who voiced Kiryu, and he came back in a recent game, just as,
Okay.
a cute one-off.
Sure.
But I guess he wasn't around to stay. And so Sega announced that the new, permanent voice for Kazuma Kiryu was this guy, Yang Ya,
Okay.
who is mainly a YouTuber
Oh.
who posts video game industry news videos and stuff. But he is also a voice actor. He is in the voice acting game. He has done some stuff. So he has been he's been working, and I think he's also in Persona 3 Reload as some side character, but
Sure.
he's been around decently, but the issue was that, at least to me, first of all, he's 28
Okay.
and he's playing Kiryu, who's now well into his 50s.
Yeah,
in
right?
Infinite Wealth. Kazuma Kiryu, also a heavily smoking character, drinking. He's been around the block, jumping in and out of bed.
Yeah, they call me Kiryu.
He's always busting heads, jumping in and out of bed. And they gave a preview of this guy because they had like a demo of Infinite Wealth, and he wasn't really selling it to people, and a lot of people were just like, "This guy is terrible. What is going on?"
That's that happens a lot where you have voice actors who are like, you can be a good voice actor and just be the wrong fit for a character. It's
Yeah.
actually pretty common.
Yeah, I'll make a larger point about it, but as just to keep telling the story, like again, he's a YouTuber and he puts out. I first of all, I never heard of him before this, so as far as I was concerned, I only heard that he was a YouTuber first. Like I thought they just got this guy off the street basically and turned him into
Yeah.
Kiryu because he put on a good enough audition or whatever. But no, like I said, he had been working as a voice actor for a little bit before this. But he's one of these YouTubers who puts out these reactionary videos on game news, just like clickbaity stuff, like whatever
Okay.
whatever the big false controversy of the week is or of the day.
Right. So not actual content.
He'll sit down in front of a camera and do these half-hour sorts of commentary things, probably, off the top of his head. And he's been doing that longer than he's been a voice actor. And it's a lot of just vapid shit is what I got to say about that.
Whoa, guys. Wow. This is huge. Wow. I just mean, what were they thinking?
Oh, you'd be surprised.
Oh my
God,
God, guys. Okay.
You'd be shocked. And that's kind of what he made himself into, really. And all of a sudden, it's like, oh, he's Kiryu. Kiryu? Curios. Honey Nut Curios.
Kiryu? Okay.
No, all of a sudden he's Kiryu, the new English voice, and people are just flabbergasted and can't stand it. And then this demo comes out, and people are... You can play the karaoke in this demo, and his version of singing the karaoke is so off and so obviously auto-tuned.
Oh,
and it sounds like me trying to do the karaoke, like breaking the law. Like that.
Oh no!
I would say though, people really cherry picked that and used that to bash him. I don't think that's fair because there's plenty more of that game and plenty more crucial dialogue that he can really prove himself in. The karaoke stuff in the Yakuza game, not that serious to begin with. I don't think that's the thing you need to be like pulling out and laughing at him. If you really want to get him, choose some actual story dialogue. But the thing that got around the most and the thing that people made fun of him for the most was the karaoke. Nonetheless, I've listened to some of that original dialogue from the demo and stuff. And no, he doesn't really pull it off. He's a 28-year-old trying to play a haggard, hardened former criminal in his late 50s. And it really baffled me. It baffled a lot of people as to why he got chosen for this. And then there's also some side stuff about him, blocking everybody who negatively tweeted him and people getting on about that. It's like, oh, he can't take the criticism because he also made a tweet before criticizing Chris Pratt as Mario. And he was one of these people saying, that doesn't sound like Mario. It just sounds like Chris Pratt. Which, again, fair, but I think the thing is that it didn't really help other people's case that much. They're just out to bash him for being him. So I tried to look at it a bit holistically and sort of judge it on the performance. And again, I independently came to the conclusion, no, I don't think he was good enough.
All right.
And so this is
verdict has been rendered.
This is all I had to talk about at the time. But then I think last week they came out with an updated trailer for Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. And he seemed to be better. Maybe he did some retakes. Maybe they massaged the trailer so that they really cherry picked the correct scenes. However, that doesn't exactly fly because this was a dub of the previous trailer from months ago in Japanese. So it was edited exactly the same. But he did seem better. Not great. Still very obviously a 28-year-old guy trying to pull off Kiryu, but a little bit rougher voiced, a little bit more appropriate. So maybe he will, in fact, do well. But the thing is, I think the damage has been done and people are just kind of like already have made up their minds. So it's this dual thing of like, I think Yakuza, the English versions, if they're going to keep doing them, it deserves better. It deserves someone who is age appropriate or someone who can at least pull that off from the get-go. That Kiryu, Kiryu also in this game, been through a lot of shit. And needs to have that reflected in the actor, I think. And
I can pull it off easy. What? How do I get cast? Here,
all right,
check this out. This is my Kiryu impression. Yeah, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got here. What do you think? Does that fit?
Well, worse than Young, yeah. So I guess no, I wouldn't hire you.
Oh man.
But anyway, the larger question I wanted to ask is why he even got that far, because it seemed, my pessimistic theory was that maybe he was chosen from the Japanese side. And this is a thing that happens.
Did they make those choices?
This has happened before, yes. There is some historical precedent to this. I'd say,
unless you're Kojima,
Sega, Kojima, even within Sega, I remember Yu Suzuki basically handpicking the English dub cast for Shenmue just based on their looks.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Oh no.
Possibly even the Japanese voice dub cast. Like, yeah, this guy looks like Ryo. Get him in there. Or yeah, this white guy is handsome enough. Let's pick him. And this then leads into a point where I think because, oh God, what's his name? Shit.
Abraham Lincoln?
Thanks, Alex. No, go ahead.
I'm here to help.
So you know that Nagoshi, the original sort of director and leader of the Ryuga Gotoku studio, he left.
Yes.
To work for the Koreans. And
oh,
sorry,
wow.
I'm just being flippant.
Do you got Kankoku?
Well, ironically, the Koreans do factor into a lot of those Yakuza games, but yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah. They've certainly shown up in Like a Dragon.
No, he took a job at NetEase.
Okay.
Along with a few other Japanese creators alongside of him. And so the next in line took over. And I think this guy is kind of perhaps internally trying to change things up. And I think what that leads to is the localizations of Like a Dragon suffering. And if my theory is correct, and choosing Yongya as Kiryu when there could have been perhaps many other better options, regardless of the fact that Yongya might have improved by now, I'm not sure either. I'll see when the full game comes out. I just think it might lead to some changes that are going on internally that make me feel uneasy about how this series is going. There's another smaller example or two where that whether it's Like a Dragon Gaiden or this demo of Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, I've been noticing a lot more typos in the text.
Uh-oh.
Not just misspellings, but like formatting inconsistencies. Like, for example, there is some character in a side story saying a sentence and then going, but this is your opportunity, or whatever. And then the but is written in caps, F for emphasis. And then let's say the word this is written in italics for emphasis. Inconsistent sort of formatting there.
Oh, yeah.
I also was playing Like a Dragon Gaiden, and I finished it, and I reached the super emotional, like nearly final scene for Kiryu. This is just, wow, this really hits you. I'm watching it with the subtitles, and there's a broken italic tag in a line in the middle of this scene.
Oh.
In the text. Now, the weird thing is that I was watching someone else's video of this scene to confirm, because I saw it out of the corner of my eye. I was like, what? I did a double take, and it was gone by then. And this person's video didn't have it in there. So I was wondering if it was something to do with either with the version. Like, I was playing on Xbox. Maybe this person was on PlayStation or something. I don't know. Or maybe it was because I had set the subtitle colors a certain way, you know, from the default. Because you can do that now. You can make it look more like closed captions or whatever. That was really weird. I noticed some other weird grammar in the demo of Infinite Wealth. But that can be excused over the fact that it's a demo. The game's not done yet. There's also the general fact that there's no more dub titles. So for Yakuza Like a Dragon, or Yakuza 7, and I believe Judgment and Lost Judgment, the localization team had pushed for dub titles, which was transcriptions of the dubbed lines as opposed to the Japanese lines, because the translation is different. They're going to interpret things and modify the words. And so they had dub titles as a second subtitle track, essentially, just out of the goodness of their heart, I suppose.
Okay, sure. I guess some people would prefer that.
And now they're not doing that anymore.
Oh.
And then a third thing where that Like a Dragon Gaiden doesn't have a dub yet. They launched it without a dub.
But it's coming.
Yeah. And so we'll get to see Yang Ya try and do that super emotional scene and see how he pulls that off, because I know people are going to be watching and we'll be loading that up first, I'm sure.
I remember Persona 5 launched with the opposite. It launched with the English dub, and then a lot of people were like,
yeah,
hey, this is not great. Would you guys mind throwing out the Japanese dub as well? We know you have it. And they're like, yeah, sure, here it is.
And let's also not forget the fact that they're coming out with these games at a breakneck pace compared to like almost any other AAA game franchise. And I'm sure there's some crunching going on.
Of course.
And hey, I don't know if this is a coincidence or what, Alex, but did you know the workers at Sega of America are starting a union, or trying to get a union off the ground?
What?
And I'm like, kind of wonder why. I wonder what could cause them to do that.
Yeah, how is that being taken in Japan? Because I know unions are certainly have less of a presence in Japan.
Let's say not taken.
Okay, all right, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure starting a union in Japan is like, being caught with marijuana in Japan. You might as well.
Yeah.
You're going to jail for life.
The only union I'm aware of that has any relevance whatsoever is the teachers union, because it's all foreigners. It's all like, hey, we kind of don't like being taken advantage of 100% of the time.
And this union is all foreigners, but they're working for the Foreign Office. So.
Right.
Yeah. And another thing is that, I mentioned the dub titles because the localization leader, Scott Strickert, left.
Oh.
After Lost Judgment, I think, shipped. And so he hasn't been around for these latest games this year. And so I think maybe he was also very instrumental in pushing those sorts of changes and keeping things, organized and up to a high quality. And maybe not so much now. And again, these are all my theories and guesses. I have no insider knowledge, but, based on things that have happened in the past in the game industry, these seem like reasonable guesses. And so it just makes me a bit uneasy about how this franchise is going to continue on. But I can say at least Like a Dragon Gaiden was fairly good to play. Obviously, it's a spinoff, and it's kind of short. It's only 4 chapters. They were going to make it a DLC. They decided not to. It's also not available physically, at least in this country.
Oh.
So it's only a digital game, and it is just supposed to be a lead-in to Infinite Wealth. So, and in that case, it's good to find out what happened to Kiryu in between 7 and 8. And so, or 6 and 7, rather.
All right.
6 and 7. And then at the end, you'll see what happens after that.
Cool.
But I don't know. The Yang Ya thing, like, I don't really care too much about his YouTuber stuff because I didn't know he even existed before that. But apparently a lot of people, I think rightfully, were just kind of like, this guy kind of sucks as far as the YouTubing goes.
Yeah, okay.
I can see why a lot of people would be predisposed to wanting to see him fail. But
yeah.
Based on what I saw in that latest trailer, maybe it'll improve. I will see. I'll hope for the best, I suppose.
I wonder, wait, is this the same guy who voiced Axel in Guilty Gear Strive?
What? No?
There's a character in Guilty Gear Strive who is voiced by just a YouTuber. They just got a YouTuber.
No.
Who is American or Canadian. It's a North American guy, but Axel has an a British accent.
Okay.
And this guy doesn't do it. I mean, it's been said that he doesn't really do an English accent, but I think it's more fair to say he does. He just does 7 of them at once.
Oh.
Yeah, he does. Here's all the English accents American people think exist, and he just mashes them all into one, and it sounds awful. It's very bad.
Wow. Okay.
Axel?
Hi, Chief. Hello, Jackie.
What the fuck?
There's no time. Just listen. Something real bad's about to happen in that city over there. I've got no idea what it is, but I'm going to try and stop it. Meet you there, Chief. Counting on you.
What?
No, I don't think he was in any fighting games.
Okay.
He's done a lot of anime. gigs.
Animation.
But one positive thing, a net positive, is that he is Asian. And I've
All
said
right.
before when we were talking about Ada Wong, like it's good to have Asian actors voicing Asian characters.
Sure.
The previous voice of Kiryu, English voice, I think was a white guy. And I mean, he sounded good, but it would have been nice to also have some better Asian representation. And so,
Yeah.
if you look at it from that perspective, it's fine. But I still think generally, regardless of where you come from or who you're representing on screen, I don't think a 28-year-old should be voicing Kiryu if he doesn't have the same kind of like roughness to his voice to begin with.
Yeah, it's like, you're like ethnicity is not enough. You also have to be like a good match for the character.
And so, like, based on all that too, it kind of riles up these feelings I have about voice acting in general, sort of how it's going with games, and how a lot of these voice actors are coming up through anime and just kind of like doing anime voices for games where it doesn't fit.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Yakuza has a lot of heightened stuff, a lot of comedy in it. People probably love the comedy in Yakuza games more than they love the drama, but it doesn't look like a cartoon. It is a realistic looking sort of game. And these characters are all, properly proportioned adults and so on and so forth. And so I think if you're going to cast somebody from LA who's done a lot of gigs for games and anime, and not so much maybe, films or network cartoons or something like that, I think the pool of talent is different and they're going to produce different results. And I don't think when it comes to Yakuza, it's always going to fit.
No.
And in general, that and just sort of the idolation of voice actors in this country, especially. Now, of course, Japan very early on treated voice actors into, the idols and real celebrities and just sort of these totems for nerds to sort of obsess about and celebrate and whatnot. And that didn't start to be a thing over here until maybe the last 10 or 15 years, when I think maybe a lot of those kids who grew up watching anime in the Pokemon years sort of started to not only become actors themselves, but also just become fans and sort of treat English voice actors as they would in Japan. And so you get a lot of like celebration of these actors who have just done a lot of anime roles and are really good in their anime voices, just moving on to stuff where it doesn't fit, but they still get celebrated for it. And doesn't.
I pretty often,
I've lost my point.
I audition for a lot of stuff. I use my afternoons before work to just browse. It's all amateur stuff. It's all like stuff that.
Before you continue, the views of me do not necessarily represent the views of Alex, who is trying to get up into the voice acting game.
Yeah, no, I more or less agree.
Yeah,
I'm mostly in agreement. Well, because I audition for a lot of stuff, and it's all amateur stuff, but it pays. And if there's stuff that's very obviously like anime-ish or for an anime-style game, I'll read it goofy. But then there's stuff that's more like down to earth and measured and natural sounding, and I'll read that. Judging from the description of the project, like it's a detective thing, or I'm doing an audio series about blah blah.
Yeah,
and I'll read it, kind of seriously. But a lot of the times they'll go with somebody who just sounds like an anime character.
And I think that's what they're used to.
Exactly. That's you grow up watching anime, you just think, oh, this is what voice acting is you sound like a cartoon all the time. So then you grow up and you make a thing and you cast that thing and you get someone who sounds like a cartoon. When you think that fits, I don't know, I'm not going to say the person who's making a thing is going to choose something that doesn't fit their vision. They know what they want, but like, why do you want that?
Right.
That's you're trying to make a serious thing, but then you have this guy sound like he's Brock from Pokemon.
Yeah.
What are you doing that for? This was real close to being good.
Wouldn't it be great if you announced you were the new voice of Brock?
That would be incredible. Hi, who's up for our duel? I have Rock Pokemon. Yo, is that a jelly donut? Give it to me. America runs on Duncan.
That yo is very reminiscent of him. You sounded pretty much like him there for a little bit.
Yo, Brock Des.
Finally, some accurate translations.
I did finally get one job from the Japanese Seiyu site that I registered on. And it's the announcer for a fighting game that will be on the Switch. I think it's called Weapon User.
Holy hell. Yeah. Okay, good.
It's by a very, very small team in Aichi.
You're living my dream.
I could have recorded for them like locally, but
Yeah.
now I want to stress the game is called Weapon User. It's not slated to be out for a couple of years. It seems like a one-man production. I saw the fighting game. I saw the fighting game made by this person previously, and it's this is very much in the vein of my first game.
Has some Dojin flavor to it.
Yes, I think I was paid a total of the equivalent of $15 USD, because when I registered on the site, I saw what everybody's rate was, and I just matched it.
Okay.
Because I'm new here.
Yeah.
And the base rate is like 2,000 yen per hour.
So you underbid?
Well, I realized I did after I submitted this, like, oh, this is way too low. So I went back and just, put another zero on it.
Okay. Yeah.
But you know what? What's done is done. Look forward to Weapon User whenever that comes out on the Switch. Who knows if it'll come out?
All right. Got any links to show me off mic here? I want to kind of see that.
Off mic, yes.
Yeah, so that's my talk on Like a Dragon. I hope it goes okay. You know what? I also felt uneasy about Infinite Wealth in general. It seemed like there was so much stuff going on in this game, and it's going to be just packed full of crud, good or bad. I just felt like, oh man, I don't know if I can take this anymore. It seemed like a heavy whole load of gaming is what I'm talking about. Anyway, I don't want to talk about the story too much because I know you've been playing 7.
I
don't
have.
want to spoil it all that badly, so I won't. Just
good.
Trust that I feel weird.
Trust the fungus.
All right. Moving on. You had some gaming stuff?
Oh, I talked about my gaming stuff.
Oh, I thought you had more to talk about.
No, it's all gone. It's out of the way.
Fine then.
Okay. I did have something else I wanted to touch on from my recent visit home.
Okay.
Which is kind of affecting like the way that I'm thinking about stuff and approaching video games. So I guess this is kind of video game related. But like I noticed when I went home for Thanksgiving, my dad is getting just increasingly negative all the time and cranky, and it sucks, and I fucking hate it.
Oh dear.
The first night I was home, my brother came over. He wanted to watch the new John Mulaney stand-up special with me.
All right.
So we put that on, and we're enjoying it. And our dad is just in the background, like heckling, complaining that it's not funny. Like it gets to the point that he's mock laughing when the audience laughs.
Heckling a pre-recorded stand-up show?
It was fucking bizarre.
Oh.
My brother and I are looking at each other like, what the fuck is he? What is going on? Why is he doing this? We could not figure it out. And I think it's just you get old and cranky, and the guy doesn't really have any hobbies. And I think the pandemic really affected like a social group he used to hang out with, unfortunately, which is, obviously not his fault. But
yeah,
it's not great. And I noticed it kept, like we drove to the store, just the two of us one day, and we're putting the radio on. And I think we floated between 4 different radio stations, and all 4 of them, he's like just grousing and mocking whoever's talking. I'm like, why are you listening to the radio? Why are you consuming any media at all if you clearly hate everything?
You're right. Yeah.
I could not understand. And I've talked to my mom about this. Like, I can confide in my mom about this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because ever since I quit drinking, like we've gotten a lot closer. Because she was at the beginning, she was the only person who was trying to help me like fix myself.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
So we got we were already close. We got much closer.
Yeah.
And so we were in the car on the way to the supermarket one day, and we're just talking about it. And I think I mentioned off the cuff, like, yeah, it's really off-putting. It's really bizarre. Obviously, I still love the guy. I still respect the guy. I don't admire the guy as much as I used to. There's nothing there anymore that I like feel I want to emulate or is worth aspiring for. It's just bizarre to have this weird negative outlook towards, like, I don't know. My mom was telling me he's also just being rude to family members too. Like, what are you doing that for?
Oh boy. Yeah, that's not good.
So I kind of made the decision on the trip to try to be more positive and not sink into cynicism, because it's very easy to do so.
You meant in life in general or during the trip? Be positive.
Oh no, in life in general. Like,
okay.
I am
just clarifying.
My trip home solidified the idea that, I cannot become this person. I do
Right.
not want to be this person.
Right.
This person is negative and cynical and snapping at everybody. And that's not a good look. It's not fun to be around. And we talked about, we will talk about this on the bonus show, but we very briefly touched on Jimmy Pardo's guest spot on the Willosophy, Will Anderson's podcast. And he said something at the end that really kind of resonated with me as I was thinking about this. And he said, be kind, trust yourself, be yourself.
Yeah.
And that's probably the best thing you can do if you just want to be kind moving forward and not alienate people by just being a fucking weirdo.
Right. Yeah.
Obviously, I love my dad and I'm being real harsh right now just because, like, boy, I sure miss the nice guy he used to be. Wish that guy would come back. I'm really just kind of venting out of frustration.
Yeah. It's an impactful change. And if you only see them every year or less, like, yeah, it's going to hit you harder.
Yes.
The change is more sudden. Yes.
This was also a sentiment kind of echoed by that the new H Bomber Guy video that's making the rounds about plagiarism.
Right.
There's a recap at the end that's basically just like, hey, be yourself. Like, why do you got to steal shit?
Yeah.
And my dad's not plagiarizing, but like I kind of just wish he would chill out and just be the nice guy he used to be. I think be yourself is good advice, and I think it forces people to come to terms with the fact that maybe like there's not enough of me. Maybe I don't have enough of a personality. Maybe I've been defining myself based too much on the media that I consume or my hot takes.
Yeah.
Like related to this video, we have a mutual friend on a social media platform who I have to mute every so often because all of his shit is just so cynical and so mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like every day for the past week, he's been making these snarky posts about like, who watches a 4-hour video? Who's going to watch a video that's 4 hours? And I'm like, in the time it took you to write these posts, you could have just watched the video.
Yeah.
You're putting so much effort into being negative about something when you could just be a part of the conversation instead of shitting on the people who are.
I know what you mean. Can't disagree with you there. I saw it too. I replied to him. I was more playing along with him, but I also was just like, these things have been going on for a while, dude. Like,
yeah,
you haven't noticed? Like, also, aren't you friends with who does that for a living now?
I wanted to say that so fucking bad. I wanted to say, and and at the end of the day, I just decided the healthier option was we're just going to mute and move on.
Right.
Like, I'm not going to block the guy, obviously. He's still a friend. But, like, what happens in people's lives that turns you so negative? Like, I understand that, snarky people get even snarkier as they age. But, like, it's not a good look. It just draws attention to how kind of mean and petty you have been in the past. Like, I think that snarkiness has a place in your quiver, but like not every arrow should read snark on it. It's meant to sort of balance out a range of responses and criticisms. It's not meant to be your entire personality.
Yeah. Well, I can say in terms of social media, that's why I kind of shifted my personality around 2014 or 15.
Okay.
Like,
how so?
Well, in between the stuff that was just not funny that I was posting from like 2009 up till then, like some of it was kind of like overly snarky. I think partly because for some of that I was still a one-up, and you kind of have to like feel like you're part of the conversation as a journalist or whatever, and just kind of say stuff and constantly like live tweet a press conference or the Game Awards, for example.
Yeah.
And I don't tweet about the Game Awards really anymore, at least not in a live as it happened sense, because it's just going to lead to me being too snarky, and it's nothing I haven't said before, to be honest, and I don't need to be doing that. I don't really care enough. Yeah,
during I was watching the Game Awards. I was kind of live skeeting. Are we going with skeet? Is that what we're saying for Blue Sky?
No, please don't.
Okay, live posting.
Please do not use any fancy names for posts other than tweet even.
Can I? So we're just gonna Kleenex this thing. It's just live tweeting is fine.
No skeets, no choasts, no
what
toots.
The fuck is a choast? Oh, co-host.
Yeah.
All right. So I was thinking about live blorbing the event.
Oh boy.
I did a little bit of live tweeting of the Game Awards, but only about half of the thoughts made it onto posts because the
that's
other
fine.
half were like, "Oh, that's too negative." Like, I'll save that
Yeah.
for the show when I can deliver it with my voice and it's very obvious what I'm trying to say. But like in post form, this is a little too cynical.
Right. It's fine to curate yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so like one of those, for example, was there were at least trailers for two games, at least two trailers of a genre that I think is just called Scandinavian ennui. Because it's a whole vibe now. It's just like, okay, grim dark swords and fantasy stuff, but also there's a woman singing in what really sounds like some kind of Scandinavian song.
Well, they used to just call it grimdark.
Oh, right, that's right.
Trust yourself is what you were saying. That Will Anderson
Trust yourself, be
Bardo was saying,
yourself.
yeah.
I mean, that's. I'm assuming you're a good person who's trying to continue to be a good person when I say that.
Yeah, and I've tried to be a little bit like this as well. I've talked about this maybe last year or so, or in other episodes, where it's just like I've been trying to mellow out in general, including on social media, stuff like I already mentioned. But just like, yeah, because I realized a lot of things that I did that were not so mellow affected me in ways that I didn't want. And I maybe in some of those things I was more stressed than I thought. And I said things that weren't correct and sort of maybe ruined a relationship, and I didn't have to. That sort of stuff. That's like the worst part of it. But in general, I wanted to mellow out and be a kinder person somewhat online. That doesn't, mean I'm not going to let some real jackanape have it if they're coming at me on social media or something, which
Of
doesn't really
course.
happen that often. I got to say, no one's really saying anything too stupid to me. It's usually just someone who tries to, repeat my joke to me, and then they get muted. That's about as bad as it gets these days. But yeah, I just wanted to mellow out as a person and just also tied into what I talked about before on the show, just kind of like trying to feel less stupid about the things I do and just sort of like jumping in and trying to do things that I should have been doing a long time ago. And that's a really obfuscated way to put it, but that's sort of what I've been feeling.
And a lot of this is like it's correcting behavior that we've been trapped in for decades. Like I recently stopped myself from snarkily replying to someone on the Critical Hit Twitter because I tweeted a picture of a game somebody was playing, and the response from somebody who follows me, who is a game collector, the response was, it was like, "Oh, do you own that game too?" And I'm like, I wanted to reply like, I mean, fucking obviously, I just posted a picture. Like, are you trying to brag that you own it too? Is that what the point of this tweet? Like, it obviously was. It's this person's trying to announce, I own this game too. But, you can't just come out and say that. You have to phrase it in a way that makes it seem casual. So you awkwardly phrase it like, "Oh, do you own this game too?" Yeah, obviously. Yeah. I posted a picture of it, you idiot.
And
what do you mean? What am I going to say? No?
Yeah.
And here's what I did instead. Nothing.
Yeah.
Which is the right thing to do, is you don't have to engage everybody. You can just kind of sigh and move on.
I love the mute.
Mute is great. Yes. Mute and move on. Sigh and move on.
Yeah.
Sometimes block and move on.
Yeah.
Those are all great options.
Mostly the people I block now are people who I just find in some other person's conversation who are so stupid or so incredibly toxic. It's just like, yeah, you're just going to... Just in case you enter my peripheral vision, I'll make sure that you don't.
Yes. A lot of preemptive blocking is very handy. I do a lot of muting if someone's just not being like volatile, but being obnoxious and just kind of tone deaf.
Yeah. I will say in general, things are better now on Blue Sky, at least for me. Because
100%.
Well, this is actually going to be twisted into another weird observation of some people I know, but there are people who got off Twitter, but then won't jump to Blue Sky, which is entirely their choice. But people who kind of say like, well, I don't like the vibes over here, or this just seems like a repeat of the whole thing. And it's like, okay, I get it, but you also can make that into a better thing by yourself. For example, you don't have to follow every single person on the site. You don't have to click on the For You section and see the zeitgeist and be disappointed by that. You can, in fact, follow who you want or mute who you want and customize your home feed however you like and not have to, in fact, deal with the sort of crap you made for yourself on the old site.
There's a lot of resentment from people who expect all of this to be done for them.
Yeah.
And they show up and they're just kind of like, well, it just looks like the old one. Like, no, you have control, a lot more control over this of who's in your feed and you know what you can see and like all the things that you said that you can customize.
Yeah, you're not wrong, but I also meant people who just kind of like immediately jump into looking at the zeitgeisty stuff and seeing all the real idiots complaining about things that aren't really relevant to them at all. But just like, well, I have to see what's going on in the conversation so that I can be a part of it. But really, you're just doom scrolling in the end. It just amounts to you doom scrolling. So maybe go on Blue Sky and don't doom scroll. Create an environment for yourself that you don't do that.
I was about to say that. If you're a habitual doom scroller, it doesn't matter what platform you're on. You're going to do that.
Yeah.
The change has to come from you.
So I see that sort of thing because I'm not that sort of person. I see it and I'm just like, well, dude, there's a way out of this.
Yes.
The same method where people turn on or keep on their push notifications for the social media stuff. It's the first thing I turn off, but people just see what replies they get or what some idiot now has said and they get mad about it or upset about it or doom scroll about it afterward. And it's just like, just turn it off.
Yeah.
You can enjoy the platform without all of the bells and whistles of it.
Yeah.
And by extension, not fill your face full of shit every day. It's entirely possible. But
I have all of those notifications turned off. I think the only one I begrudgingly had to turn on. No, I turned it off. Hang on.
okay.
So I have fuck. It's called Meta Business Suite now.
All right.
But it's basically the bar's Facebook page. And I used to have those notifications enabled if I would get messages from people who wanted to make a reservation or something.
Yeah.
And I had to disable them because I kept getting like phishing scams that are so common on Facebook where it's just like, this is very common with community pages or business pages, but like you get all these messages like, your account is in violation of the community standards. It will be shut off within 24 hours unless you go to this URL. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm not clicking on that. But like I was getting multiple of those a day.
Yeah.
And every time I looked down at my phone, like, oh, somebody wants to make a reservation. Oh no, it's another scam.
Yeah, of course.
So now it's just off. They're just off. I check manually a couple times a day and that's it.
Right. I mean, it's the same thing they say now, but check your spam filter or whatever. Check your spam folder.
Yeah. It would be real fucking nice if Meta Business Suite just let you block those kinds of messages.
God, yeah.
I mean, it would be nice if I could only accept messages from people who follow the page.
It'd be nice if Meta did anything about Facebook.
Yeah, right. Literally fucking anything. Did I tell you when I deleted my accounts, I had to like, because their shit changes so often, I went through 3 or 4 different tutorials that ultimately didn't help me because they're based on older versions of Meta or Facebook.
Fab.
And it's like, go to the upper right and click on blah, blah, blah. Like, it's not there.
That's great.
There's no option that says that. And then go to this menu and find this. It's not there. None of this is there. I had to add how to delete Facebook account like October 2023.
Yeah. They've made it 5 more menus deep and then.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous.
Good luck.
Get off Facebook. It sucks.
Yeah.
Anyway, be nice. We're working on it.
Be nice to yourself, first of all. Good Lord, please.
So
yes.
The overarching, all of this is basically to arrive at this point. I want to try, in a bid to be more positive, I want to try to have more fun, which means I want to play more video games. And I need to stop being so cynical about video games, but it's very hard because a lot of the industry is not garbage, but not impressive, I guess. Like, there's just so much now that you really have to wade through everything to find the good stuff because there's just so many games now.
It is a humongous, lucrative business.
Yeah.
And not everything's for everybody anymore.
Yes. And I'm okay with that. I mean,
yeah,
not everything was for me, even as a kid. Like, even as a kid, sports games just went, I didn't even see them. They went in and out of my brain.
Right.
and most racing games as well. It's like, I don't care. You know, I want my Mega Man. I want my Castlevania. I want Dragon Quest. And I'm now at a place where I am begrudgingly electing to participate in the consumerism of the hobby because I want to enjoy it again. And that's what that entails, is like, you know, I've been very down on all the commercialism around video games, in the same way that I'm down on the commercialism around, you know, the MCU, for example. Like, yeah, some of this I got a lot of pleasure out of, but at this point it's like, come on, this is a bit much. Like, I made an effort to enjoy the Game Awards, and I'm looking forward to some new games, and I like that, and it feels kind of weird. And I'm battling my instinct to nitpick all these things, because that's how I got through the past 10 years. Was anytime a new game was announced, I would just nitpick it so I didn't have to buy it.
Yeah.
I'd just be, oh, this looks like XYZ. No sale.
Yeah.
And then what would invariably happen is, like, you know, 2 to 10 years later, I pick it up cheap, and I'm like, hey, this game fucking rules. No shit, it rules, idiot.
Right. Yeah.
You were just blocking it out because you didn't want to participate in the culture.
Right. But some of that is just because of the weight of the culture. So, like, I'll make an example in my case. For a lot of people loving Baldur's Gate 3 will not shut up about Baldur's Gate 3.
Yes.
I know in my heart it's really not the kind of game I would fully enjoy, or at least sit down to fully enjoy. Maybe with my wife, since it has a co-op mode, but individually speaking, really not my thing. But it seems to be everybody, all ages, sizes and shapes, seem to love Baldur's Gate 3. And maybe that sours my perception of Baldur's Gate 3. In truth, it doesn't, but let's speak hypothetically, for example.
Okay. No,
I'm just using
know.
Baldur's Gate 3 as like as a totem for this, but let's say, you know, it just completely sours my perception of the game. I'm just not going to play it. I've had those moments like you've described where, yeah, I'll come back to it years later and be like, okay, yeah, now that the incredible hype has died down, now that all of the insufferable people I saw celebrating this game to an extreme extent, you know, I can finally appreciate it for what it is.
Yes.
And it's good that that happens.
It's good that Bart did that. It's very good.
I mean, it's good that that happens in the end. Whether or not it's something that we might want to fix in the moment when it's at its most popular, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just our natural inclination to things sometimes. That's how people work.
Yes.
And the opposite is that, yeah, I am very much excited to play Alan Wake 2. I would love to play Alan Wake 2. I don't have the money for it right now, but yeah, I'll play that because I love the first game as well.
Yeah, it was. I'd never played the first game, so the second one wasn't on my radar, but I saw folks whose opinions I trust talking about it on social media, and then seeing more about it on the Game Awards, I was like, oh, I should probably play this.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting. So.
Now, about what you said, you know, about a lot of people enjoying the popular thing that doesn't jive with you, is I think that's, I do sometimes get that like sense of hipsterism where it's like, I don't want to enjoy the popular thing because that's what everyone is enjoying.
Yeah.
And in the case of some games, like I think Undertale was the biggest example for me. It's like, oh, I'll never play this because these people will not shut the fuck up about it.
It might take me a while before I finally play Undertale in my experience. Yes.
Oh, you haven't played it?
No.
It's fine.
I'm in the same boat though. It's like it's gonna take me a little bit, I think.
I mean, it's yeah. I don't know how to recommend Undertale in 2023 because it's like you've already been living in a culture where it's been described to you as the greatest thing ever made, and it's obviously not.
I have faith in myself that I can place myself out of that and
good,
sort of
okay,
and take the time to look at it. And the thing also is that like Toby Fox is not a huge jerk. And some of these celebrated games over the years have been made by huge jerks, and I'm just not interested in touching them at all. So, indie ones especially. So, like, you know, in terms of Undertale, I think I'll get to it eventually. Just not, right now.
Yeah. The other answer to this problem, which is related to, you know, getting caught up in popular games discourse, is I think the best way to enjoy a video game is to not feel like you are part of, like, you kind of have to embrace that weird hipster inclination I want to enjoy a game on my own terms. I want to feel like I'm having a special, unique experience that's just for me. And I realized watching the Game Awards, I think that starts with these world premiere trailers. I think that when I see a trailer for the first time, it is in our timeline, in our chronology. This is my first and only encounter with this game.
Yeah.
It's everybody's first and only encounter with this game.
Yeah.
I am forming a completely unbiased personal opinion from seeing this trailer. And that is the seed of excitement. That is the seed of anticipation.
Right.
If I can have that experience and have those feelings and then trust those feelings, when the game comes out, I will be more likely to buy it and play it and enjoy it because I had a personal experience with it when I saw the trailer.
Yeah, exactly.
If I wait a week and I watch these trailers, that feeling will be gone.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
For me, I'm talking just for my dumb brain, the way that my brain works and pilots my stupid body.
All right, we're talking about Alex's dumb brain, everybody.
Welcome.
Just so we know.
I need to make my brain feel like it's special. I need to pamper my brain. In terms of video games, that just means, I need to, watch a trailer and take it in.
Yeah.
And not be influenced by other people's thoughts or feelings or whatever.
You know how I pamper my brain?
How?
Air circulation.
You need it.
Yeah.
It's good for brains.
Well, in terms of the Game Awards, like most of the times it's a new game I see for the first time.
Yeah.
It doesn't really hit. But there are the ones that will look interesting to me. And I'll say,
that's what I mean. Yeah. Not every game, like we're going to get into it next segment, but there's a handful of games that had reveal trailers where I was like, that looks pretty cool.
Yeah, and something that is new and not a sequel or remake or whatever.
Right.
And
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I still have my old opinions and preferences for video games. So like, they show off a trailer for a game that's very obviously not up my alley. I'm not, psyching myself into being excited. I'm just like, okay, next. Hey everyone, I love FF6. Where was that trailer? Where's FF6 VR?
Yeah. And I have a couple examples to talk about from that show that we'll get into. But yeah.
We're getting into it next segment. That's all I got for my brain. Trying to be more positive, trying to participate more in the culture.
Of course, yes. As for me, though, I'm still at...
I don't like Italians.
That's not a culture.
Okay.
I mean, Italians is a culture.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. Be more positive, less trickery.
Watch me trick Fred.
All right, I'm done.
Was there a trailer for Barney's Pebble Thievery?
I'm sure Jeff Keighley would jump at the chance to have Barney and Fred on stage.
Was there a trailer for Barney's Prehistoric Heist?
No, that was Jurassic Park.
Oh!
We'll be back with more No More Whoppers after these messages from...
Same day has come, a different day from everyone. It's like my time was frozen still.
And we're back with another great episode of...
Hold your horses, mister. This is a commercial for our show, Nasty Labs, not the actual show.
You mean to tell me this is a commercial for our bi-weekly show from game studio Chuhai Labs where we talk about games, game dev, Japan, and whatever else comes up?
Yep, and it stars me, Kinsey Burke. And also it has my junior co-host, Mark Lentz.
Sup, though?
So catch brand new episodes twice monthly for only 3 easy payments of $420.69.
That doesn't make sense.
Nasty Labs! Only on the Tokyo Beat Network.
Makes me hungry, I knew all about it.
Folks, we're back. It's No More Whoppers. I'm Ray, that's Alex.
Hi, guess what?
Guess what? What?
We're going to talk about the Game Awards for the year 2023. Raymond?
Okay, yeah, I heard about this.
The Game Awards short for Video Game Awards,
Yeah.
was an awards show we watched today. I'm dating the show, but I don't care.
You're just reading off your notes now?
Yes, I'm no, I didn't write
Your
this,
first
but
note, award show.
I do have. I did write that.
91 bullet points.
I do have 91 bullet points. I don't think we're gonna hit all of them. I'm gonna, maybe we'll skip some of the chaff here. But
Yeah.
let's talk about the pre-show here. There was a half-hour pre-show before the show.
Okay. Yeah.
The very first thing, right out of the gate, is a trailer for a remake of a game called Brothers.
That's
that
right.
I'm unfamiliar with. Okay.
Me and my wife played it, the original.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you think?
It didn't really affect me either way, but it has
Awesome.
it has a dramatic twist. So
All right.
that's why it's popular.
Okay. It was immediately followed by the award for Best Family Game,
Right.
which, if you said Super Mario Brothers Wonder, you're correct.
I didn't.
Doug Bowser got up and just...
Two burly plumbers.
No, he was one guy. He was just real awkward, which... Okay.
Oh yeah, I think I heard a little bit of him. Yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't expect to win.
It's... What? Wait a minute. I think you... Don't you know going in that you're
Oh,
winning so you
yeah,
can prepare
well,
a speech?
Of course, Nintendo knows.
Oh, okay.
They're on top of things.
Yeah, that's why they sent a guy.
Yeah,
There's a trailer for Pony Islands 2 Panda Circus.
that's right.
A trailer for The Rise of the Golden Idol, which I don't remember anything.
Right. Are you just going through trailers?
Yes, I wrote down everything.
Oh boy. All right.
A trailer for something called Usual June, which I thought had a really nice visual style. The award for innovation in accessibility goes to Forza Motorsport. Which,
Yeah.
I don't know. What were the advances in motorsports?
Well, I know that they are pretty on top of accessibility type features, at least for Forza Horizon 5. I think, difficulty stuff, lots of visual indicators, including subtitles, but also like gameplay things, assistance type features, just stuff to really help anybody enjoy a racing game, essentially. I don't know exactly what they did for the new one,
Okay.
Motorsport, but yeah.
Sure.
They really developed their their track record, you might say,
Hey!
for
That's
accessibility
incredible.
stuff over the past few years.
Cool.
So,
We had a trailer for Harmonium the Musical, which seemed to be about a young deaf girl who has a musical adventure in some sort of dreamland,
right.
which seems cute. Then there's just a big note from me in all caps that says, "Who writes this Drek?"
Yeah,
I believe I was referring...
that's the theme of the Game Awards. Yeah, I'd say every year that's about the question that keeps popping into my mind. Yeah.
The writing is not good. I don't know. It was, and I don't blame the host, Sydney, what's her name? I think that's her name. Before Jeff showed up, she did the pre-show.
I do wonder, did she write some of this?
No, there's
maybe,
no
maybe
way.
an off chance.
There's
maybe.
no way she wrote
They
this.
keep asking her back. Maybe she gets
I-
more input into things. I don't know.
I don't put this on her.
Maybe.
She seems very nice. Now, these I'm going to get to. They started with the obvious awards up front. So, best esports athlete was obviously Faker. Best esports coach was obviously Potter. Best esports event 2023 League of Legends World Championship. Best esports game Valorant. Best esports team JD Gaming, obviously a division of JD Power and Associates.
I love those JD boys.
They're
Or girls.
great.
I'm
Is that
not
Jack
sure
Daniels?
Who? Yes, the Jack Daniels crew. Man, we should have more celebrities owning esports teams. That'd be
Oh man.
much more enjoyable.
That was followed by a trailer for something called Windblown, which had like cute animal characters doing martial arts with weapons, but also a lot of casual dismemberment, which kind of put me off. I don't know what the deal with that was. Like, all right, are you doing okay? Is it supposed to be shocking? Because I don't like it.
I didn't recall seeing it actually, but yeah.
Trailer for something called Thrasher. Oh, we got an ad spot for the Samsung Gaming Hub.
Okay, sure.
Persona 3 Reload looked better than I was anticipating.
Yeah, not really a brand new look at it, but
Yeah, I still don't know if I'm going to get it because I was not a huge... Like, unless they fundamentally change the game, I don't think I'm... Tartarus is so repetitive and monotonous, and I hate it as a dungeon.
No, I heard they smoothed over Tartarus. Like, they made it
Did
more
they?
unique. Yeah.
I mean, I guess.
I'll try it.
Dave the Diver Dredge. I like Dave the Diver, so I might play that.
Okay.
Obviously, Content Creator of the Year went to Iron Mouse,
Of course.
right? There was a trailer for World of Goo 2. I believe you used to work for that company. Is that not one of theirs?
They made a different kind of goo
Okay.
that I got to step through every week.
Ugh.
Now, yeah, that was one of the early indie darlings.
Oh, yeah?
I remember that coming out for PC and also WiiWare, and it just was like everybody's favorite thing. And I'm like, I don't get it.
You don't get it?
I
Okay.
don't get it. Yeah.
I believe this was a world premiere trailer for a new Atlas RPG called Metaphor, which I
Not a
thought
world premiere.
Oh, is it
We
not?
saw that in the summer.
I do apologize.
Metaphor Ray Fantasio.
Was it a new trailer?
Well, it was an extended look at it, yes.
I see.
It was a brand new trailer, but as far as world premiere, we'd seen it before.
Seems like it's got a good pedigree. It's got a lot of Atlas Persona folks on it. Shoji Meguro's doing the music.
Yes, it was announced in December 2016.
2016?
That's right, yes.
Jesus Christ. Where is it?
Well, it's here now.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean,
But it's like it's 7 years later.
I'd say it does look pretty good. It carries on that sort of Persona tradition of good graphic design in the menus and stuff.
Yes.
I do wonder if it's maybe too close to Persona in terms of that whole look.
Oh, yeah.
Just also based on the character designer coming back and all that. But
Okay.
it's interesting. Yeah, I'll definitely check it out.
Okay. All right, that's it for the pre-show. Let's get into the main show. Let's get into the meat.
What meat did they have for us?
So it opens with Jeff taking the stage, welcoming everybody to the show.
Hold on. For our listeners who haven't seen a video game before, who is Jeff?
Jeff Keighley is a guy who hosts the Game Awards. I literally don't know what else he's done.
All right. He was a Canadian game journalist for many years.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
And I believe, his parents are wealthy. We'll leave it at that.
Okay. He welcomed everyone to the show, and he was kind of like listing off a few famos who were in the crowd.
Yeah.
And he when he got to the two Nintendo, it was Eiji Aonuma and someone else. And Jeff mentions their names, and the camera is on them, and they look at each other horrified until people started applauding. I think they were just scared. Like, are we supposed to go on
Did
stage?
we win?
And
Did we win already?
They looked really scared, and then the applause started, and they were just like, "Oh, okay, yeah."
Is this rehearsal?
So, we open with Best Performance, which was
Yeah,
Neil Newbon for a character in Baldur's Gate 3. That's
can I jump in?
not my kind of game. Yeah, sure.
One of the things about the Game Awards I hate is how they memify themselves. And so they had last year they had that first award, and it was the guy who voices Kratos come up on stage, and he does this long acceptance speech. The first award winner of the night does this super long acceptance speech, and just sort of becomes like a meme around everybody. And and then Jeff gets in on it. He's like, "Oh yeah, he sure did go long, didn't he? Let's invite him back to present the first award again, and then joke about what he was on last time."
Yeah, I thought
you don't need to do it.
it was very belabored.
You don't need to do any of this.
There's another meme at the end of the show that I'll talk about that you probably noticed as well, which is like, all right, we get it.
Maybe, yeah.
So the Best Performance. So yeah, he reads off the nominees, the 6 nominees, and I kind of lost my shit laughing at this. They show on the screen 5 of these. 5 of these are in attendance.
Okay.
So there's 5 cameras focused on 5 people sitting in their seats. And then there's one big stock photo of just smiling Idris Elba.
Yeah.
Who's very clearly not there.
On a white background, nonetheless.
On a white background, so it's more obvious that he's not there.
Literally pasted in.
I just thought that was real funny. Like, yeah, this is
It's like his driver's license photo.
Oh man,
that was good. Yeah, like just add a gradient in the back for God's sake.
Yeah, right. So I wondered this about how award shows work these days, because this guy Neil also got played off, but like starting the music, does that qualify as played off, or is that like a warning, like, hey, wrap it up?
I think in this context, it is a wrap it up. Like,
okay,
you better start wrapping up.
Okay. But then what happens if you don't? Does it just increase the volume? Or do they cut your mic? Like, we never got that far because you wrapped it up.
I think
but...
everybody stands backstage gritting their teeth until you finally finish.
Oh,
it
boy.
doesn't really matter. I mean, that's what
Okay.
happened to the guy last year.
So
You
I
just
did,
kept
in my notes, I did make sure to mention everyone who got played off. So Neil,
Okay.
in his, I mean, he was thanking a lot of people who it seems
What
were
does that
important
mean
to this.
to play us off? Sorry, I had to do that.
Thanks. All right, we have a surprise appearance from Matthew McConaughey, whose name
Yeah.
I certainly didn't spell correctly in my notes.
What'd you get?
Makoffaganahani. I don't think was I thinking about Mulligatawny? What was going on
That
there?
was the character he plays in this game.
Oh, that's right. Oh yeah, and another shitty joke that I hope he didn't write when he came out. Do you remember that?
I didn't hear him. No, I had it muted.
Okay. He said it's so bad. I don't know who writes this, but they need to be fired urgently. He came out and said, "Hi everyone, it's me, Matthew McConaughey," or something like that. You know, when I come out to these things, most people want me to say my signature phrase, "All right, all right, all right." But for the video game awards, I thought I should change it to "pew pew pew."
Okay. Well, good thing I kept it muted. Yeah. Thanks for that, Alex. Thanks for keeping me abreast.
Sorry
of
if I ruined
what
your day.
happened. No.
He was there to reveal a trailer for a game called Exodus.
Yeah. Now this was like this looked interesting. It was sort of, what was it? Like kind of like astronauts who get thrust into a fantasy world or something like
Yeah,
that.
and there's he even references how close it is to the plot of Interstellar with time dilation and all that.
Well, a little bit.
Good.
Interstellar didn't have sci-fi elements in it, but yeah.
Yes, it didn't it?
Well, it didn't have the stuff in this game where it's like,
No, but it had sci-fi elements. It's a
No.
science fiction film.
no, I'm sorry, I didn't mean science fiction. I meant fantasy, like
Fantasy, okay.
swords and monsters sort of stuff. Which, by
Right.
the way, I'll let you know. I've had the same idea. I thought that would be a good idea for a Final Fantasy game.
What's
Like, if they ever asked me to make Final Fantasy 18 or something, which I'm sure is just a matter of time. I think a good idea for a story would be like, yeah, these space explorers, you know, in spacesuits and stuff, they crash land on a planet that's just like all fantasy, magic, Final Fantasy stuff. And they end up, you know, getting swords and stuff and having to figure out their way through this culture and all that jazz. It'd be neat, I think. Anyway, that reminded me of my idea. And I'll be suing them in due time.
My first thought about Exodus was I was surprised that there wasn't already a game called Exodus, and then I looked it up and realized, oh, there have been at least 7 of them.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
It's not a super original name, but I always figure, like, in this day and age, if you're reusing a title, your shit better be big.
Right. Well, it looked
You know what I
big.
mean? It did look big, yeah. They got Matthew McConaughey out to do the
Matty
trailer
Mick.
review. Yes! We got a trailer for God of War, Ragnarok, Valhalla, which is free DLC,
Yeah,
which seems nice.
It better be free if it's a $70 game.
Oof. Yeah, I'm not a fan of God of War, but free DLC is kind of nice, I guess, if you like that
Get a
kind
God
of
of
thing.
War.
A trailer for something called Big Walk, which seemed cute. It seemed
yeah,
cute,
was
cute and
that-
quirky.
Yeah, that was the House game, the Untitled Goose Game
Yes.
developers. Yeah, I didn't expect to be as interested in that by the end of that trailer. But yeah, it does look pretty
right.
cool. It said it was a game for you and your friends, and I'm like, oh, do I have to be like online and have people playing with me? 'Cause I'd rather these other characters just be CPU controlled if that's at all possible. Thank you.
Yeah.
But it did look pretty good. Cartoon, sort of like Drinky Bird looking figures in a
Yes.
realistic landscapes and stuff.
Yeah, I think it worked very well visually.
Probably the closest thing to a Boku no Natsume we had at the Game Awards this year.
Musical act. We had a musical interlude from Heilung, who did the theme from Hellblade 2, which is part of the Scandinavian ennui subgenre
Oh, yeah.
that I mentioned earlier. They played a trailer for that as well, and then gave the award for Best Narrative to Alan Wake 2.
Uh-huh.
This person was also played off.
Al Dub's Deuce.
That's right. But man, I forget who presented it, but there's just something about award banter
Right.
that, like, it sucked consistently for like 50 years,
Yeah.
and we're still doing it.
We're still doing
Because
it.
the person gets on the mic and says, the best stories are the ones we get lost in.
Here's why we're still doing it.
Why?
because the game industry doesn't want to break off and try anything new. And Jeff Keighley in the Game Awards especially just wants to mimic Hollywood, and that means mimicking everything in this sort of high-level way. And that means you gotta have banter. You gotta have someone make a joke. You just gotta. It's how it's done.
It happened.
It doesn't have to be Edith.
It's the worst. I made a note later. It happened again when Hi-Fi Rush won Best Audio Design. Whoever presented the award gets up there and unironically says, sound is an often overlooked but crucial aspect of game design. Okay.
Yes.
How is this not advanced in 50 years?
That came across my ears too, and I'm just like, yes, we say this every year. We say this every time about
like
sound in video games.
Like a template.
It's been overlooked for 50 fucking years.
Holy shit. Okay. I had a thought when Alan Wake 2 won Best Narrative. It was, FF16 getting snubbed so far because it was up for a bunch of awards and had not won any.
Yeah.
It did walk away with a few at the end of the night, I think, but not as many as I thought.
Walked away with a DLC trailer.
That's right. We had a trailer then for Kemuri by the hyper adorable Ikumi Nakamura.
Yeah. That game looked cool. I expected, I don't know what game it actually is, but it seemed like it might be one of those four misfits doing group missions and stuff online sort of game.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of...
But it looked like that, and I'm not interested in that. Kind of sick of it. So I hope it's something a bit different, because it does, of course, look very good. Their whole, her whole studio thing was like, we're artists, we're going to be arty. That seemed to be what they're doing. They're pulling that off. But gosh, I hope the game is just not chasing that trend of the weirdo misfits who shoot each other or shoot vampires or something.
Hey, vampires are coming later.
Okay, yes.
We had a trailer for part 2 in the Scandinavian Ennui series, No Rest for the Wicked.
Yeah. From the people who made Ori, is that right?
I believe that's true.
Very different aesthetic, those Ori games.
There was a bit after this with Gonzo from the Muppets, and I have to admit I didn't hate this.
I muted it anyway.
Okay.
I can't. No.
The first half of it I thought was actually funny. It was actually whoever wrote everything else did not write this.
Yes, I can be fair enough to say that. If you have the Muppets involved, they'll probably have real writers involved.
Yes, they do. I think.
On the other hand, I still don't care. Fuck the Muppets. It doesn't do anything
for
me.
Fuck the Muppets.
I'm 40 years old.
Yeah, but you're 40 years old. That means you're the target audience.
No, the target audience is my 1-year-old son.
Oh, right.
And he also cannot watch the Game Awards from all the violent imagery surrounding Gonzo. God, no, just knock it the fuck off. Anyway, continue.
Okay. Then a trailer for... This was kind of interesting. It looked like 5 Sega remakes or sequels.
Okay,
I don't know exactly what's going on here. Crazy Taxi, Shinobi, Jet Set Radio, Streets of Rage, and Golden Axe are getting... Are they new installments?
The trailer said these are all in development, and so I think they're all separate games. Because there had been a lot of hubbub for a few years about Sega wanting to make what they were calling a super game. And people sort of tugging their collars for a couple of years, being like, is this going to be about NFTs or something?
Oh, no.
What are they trying to do? What does this fucking mean? And people are like, well, maybe that would mean something where all of the universes of their games come together. And that's what this trailer seemed like it was going to be. Like, is this going to finally be Sega's super game? But if they are actually implying these are separate games, then okay, fine. I'm glad to see Jet Set Radio again. The footage they showed wasn't promising to me. It looked a bit dry as far as a Jet Set Radio game would go. And especially
it was 5 seconds, though. It's not a lot.
Hey, listen. We're talking about gamer stuff here. I have to be a reactionary gamer. This is my moment, okay? Do you mind? I'm just going to say.
I don't.
Based on what my eyes were telling me, it could have made a bigger splash in 5 seconds, is what I'm saying.
All right. Fine.
Anyway, I don't think we need to make a new Golden Axe.
No?
We tried that before. It didn't work. Shinobi, sure. Shinobi fared better.
Shinobes! Dragon Ball Sparking Zero.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'll remind everybody from last couple episodes, I have Alex's copy of Dragon Ball Z Sparking.
That's right.
Stuck in the PSX.
Hope you enjoy it.
And so now I'm glad Sparking is back. Yes. It's called a good luck charm.
A trailer for Dead by Daylight, the casting of Frank Stone, and I believe my tweet immediately after this was, very happy for Frank Stallone.
Yeah. You guessed it, Frank Stone.
Yeah. I don't know anything about Dead by Daylight other than that's popular right now. Visions of Mana looked like an interesting trailer.
Okay, it did. Go ahead, finish.
They're leaning very heavily into the Secret of Mana similarities. The font, obviously, I think all the Mana series uses the same font for the logo, but the popular mushroom enemy, the mantis ant boss, just getting, even the protagonist, getting big Secret of Mana vibes. It's not a remake, obviously. They did that, so it just seems like they're trying to remind folks, hey, remember the good installments of the series? We'll do that.
Yeah. I do have I'm glad they're making a new Mana game, but I have a cynical take in that, to me, this looked a little bit like a Mana reskin of that Valkyrie Elysium that came out a couple years ago.
Oh.
Almost like how it's very action-y focused. I mean, I don't know. Again, just first impression based on, a trailer. But I have to be reactionary gamer and say that, it just seemed like...
We just had a whole conversation about how you don't have to be a reactionary gamer.
No, I have to be, because it's the Game Awards, and that's what they want.
No! They've gotten to you.
Well, I'm not being that serious. But
all right.
Nonetheless, I did get the vibe. It's like, it just seems like the Valkyrie game. I don't know. Obviously, it's Mana and much brighter and happier and everything.
Yes.
But in terms of the gameplay stuff that was going on,
yeah.
Like, seems similar to this.
Looks, whatever. Well, sure.
But Godspeed to the Mana fans.
Yes. There was a trailer after this for, well, here's what I wrote in my notes. Rise of the Ronin, ? IDK, I was looking away.
No, you nailed it.
Oh, is that what it's called?
That's what it's called, yeah.
All right.
Although when the logo reveal came up, it was Ronin first. It was like Ronin, and then at the bottom was fine print saying like Rise of the Ronin is a registered trademark. It's like they had that before they got to the Rise of in the logo.
Oh,
so.
Kind of like how they spoiled the reveal of Godzilla monsters in Kong Skull Island. You remember that?
No, but
yeah. So like I watched this on a plane and someone pointed out to me and I noticed it immediately. But like,
oh yeah, actually, yeah.
Kong Skull Island in the credits. There's a thing in the credits of Kong Skull Island that says, Mothra, Godzilla, blah blah blah, are all registered trademarks of Toho. And you're like, they weren't in the movie. Oh, it's the post-credits.
I watched that in the theater. Yeah, I watched that in the theater too, and I remember that now. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Good going. Thanks, guys.
Just great.
Couldn't wait one more minute. Do you think that was the Japanese office? Do you think that was Toho going like, no, it needs to be in the main credits? You
maybe.
Sons of bitches. Anyway, continue.
Best action game, Armored Core 6.
That was a nice surprise. Yeah.
Yeah, right? Folks like that. My buddy Tom really likes that game. I think he played all the way through it. I think he's finished.
From Software still's got that cachet, bro.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now, some of these awards I did guess correctly. I have marked those in my notes in order to gloat about it. Mm-hmm. None of these I guessed correctly, though. Best art direction went to Alan Wake 2, which, sure. Best VR or AR game went to Resident Evil Village VR mode.
Yes.
I'm sure that's fun.
Probably the only VR game people played this year.
Yeah.
That was new, other than Beat Saber.
Best mobile game went to Honkai Star Rail, which Jeff pronounced Honkai. And I immediately tweeted, Honkai, is that the Avenger that's a goose?
You know what? Honkai Star Rail has some of my favorite music. I like to sing the theme from Honkai Star Rail at karaoke. And then someone tells me I pronounced Honkai wrong, and then I commit Harry Carey.
This happened later on in the Game Awards, but I think I had a note. My note was, we're still saying Kojima, huh?
We're still saying it, yep.
Yeah, it was Jeff. Jeff thanked his friend Hideo Kojima. We're still going. Like, we know it's Kojima at this point, but we're still going with that? All right.
We're still going
It's
with
it's only his family name. We don't need to say it correctly.
Hideo Kojima.
Hideo.
He's got a hidey hole in there.
All right, that's up next. Kojima came out. There's a trailer for something called OD. In my notes, I just wrote OD : more Kojima horse shit.
That was leaked a while ago when it was called
was it?
Overdose.
Oh.
Yeah. Still don't know what it is, though.
It's there's a logo for Xbox Game Studio.
Yeah, this was their. There was a thing where Kojima came in some sort of fake trailer and said, "Yeah, I'm working with Xbox on this. You'll see
Okay.
more soon." ...
Okay.
And they said they were leveraging the power of the cloud.
Oh, that's what that was.
That's what
Okay.
we talked about this a few episodes ago, where I was
Right.
talking about Kojima's new thing was supposed to be using the cloud somehow.
Okay.
Yeah,
I did blurt laugh when the translator stumbled over his words and called it X-Cop Game Studios.
The ex-presidents.
And then I believe the last thing Kojima said about this was, I think the thing that he says anytime he announces a game, which is, it's a game and a movie and a new form of media.
Yeah, right.
Which is just his default, like, that's what I make now. You can't define me. You can't put me in a box.
Yeah. You're gonna have to give me more footage than what you showed, buddy.
Yeah. Although I did scream out loud, holy shit, when Jordan Peele just showed up. That was insane.
Sure.
I'm like,
okay.
I saw it, like the door opened and there's a silhouette, and I'm like, who is that? Is that what? Okay.
All right, everybody, here's Alex.
No, it's Jordan Peele.
What if Jeff Keighley was the one who said, "Welcome, Alex Fraioli, to the Kojima universe"?
And then I transported on stage from here in Japan. That would have been great.
And you're like, "Hey, everybody, that's right. I'm writing the new game OD. It's about John Arbuckle's dog. It's going to be great. Please look forward to it. Des, thank you and good night."
Kojima's like, me and the team are we're going on a fact-finding mission. We're going to get some photos from Abu Dhabi for one of the areas. It's going to be outstanding.
Ooh, the Nermal mission. DLC.
All right.
He has to go find Kazuhiro Miller.
It seemed like the latest installment in Kojima's ongoing Look at My Famous Friends series.
Oh, absolutely.
Where, he just wants to be seen with his famous pals.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know.
Trailer for Jurassic Park Survival.
Okay, this looked cool because I'm glad that we kind of have a real Jurassic Park game now.
Yeah.
Ever since like.
Wait, hold up. Are you saying the one on the Sega CD wasn't real?
I'm saying since those console games, because the recent Jurassic Park games have been the Evolution series, which is all just like park building sims.
Oh.
Yeah, that's really the only Jurassic Park video games that have been coming out. And so now we have something that seems like a pretty good concept, which is like, yeah, there should be a version of Alien Isolation, but Jurassic Park.
Oh, is that how it plays?
That seems to be
play
a
that.
lot like what it's going to be like. Yeah.
I enjoyed Alien Isolation.
And in general, I'm just glad to have a Jurassic Park game that is just not like a sim game and something that is actually in a sense, actually
That's
puts
cool.
you in a sort of movie situation. Yeah.
Yeah, as long as it's not supposed to be crossing over with Jurassic World, I think it'll be fun.
Well, it seemed to take place in today, so maybe it does. I don't know.
All right, best audio design, Hi-Fi Rush, a trailer. Okay, I also, apparently judging from my notes, wasn't paying attention because I wrote trailer, Rocket League Racing or something, wasn't looking.
Rocket Racing, from the makers of Rocket League.
Okay, so I was close enough. Another trailer for something called Black Myth Wukong, which seems to be another Journey to the West retelling, which looked, I think, visually striking.
Yeah, this is one of those games that have had trailers forever and it's not coming out yet, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of my notes here is incredible visual design and animation is sabotaged by dorky American accents.
Yeah.
I will never understand it. This is probably my one.
That kid voice at the beginning of it.
Yeah, it's a lot of them though. It's one of my big complaints about Resident Evil Village is like, why are they all American? Why do you do that? I mean, I like it. I like Heisenberg's voice because it sounds like a British actor trying to do a Nick Cage impression, which is its own thing, and it's incredible. But everyone else is out of place. Like, you're not American. Why are you all American?
Yeah.
Like even the villagers from the titular village, they're from Cincinnati.
Well, anyway, the CEO from the developer of that game made some crazy misogynist comments a couple years ago, and so don't necessarily need to pay too much attention to that game because it seems to be coming out for the last 5 years now. So whatever.
Okay, fun. All right, well, disregard.
Whatever. The stuff with the Chinese developed games is that I've noticed this, especially with the Jeff Keighley shows, is that they'll have a big splashy trailer and they'll have the best looking graphics you've ever seen probably, and they'll claim it's all gameplay, and then you'll never hear of it for like 6 years, and it's like, what happened, guys? Do you not know how to run a project? Like, just ship the game already. And I don't know what is going on. It happens a lot with the Chinese stuff and the Korean games especially as well. It's just, can you maybe wait a while before you show the game and then ship it? Like, I don't know what your MO is.
Yeah, you got to drum up the excitement early.
Yeah.
All right, we got a trailer for Suicide Squad, which did kind of look interesting.
Harry Carey Squad.
Thank you. Trailer for Warframe: Whispers in the Walls. I gotta be honest, I thought Warframe was like an Armored Core mech sim.
No, well, I mean, Warframe is a long-running online game. Just think of it like you got a new FF14 expansion, and the Warframe people are very happy. Okay.
All right. Okay. Games for Impact. This award went to Chia with Shuhei Yoshida accepting the award. I don't know what it. I wasn't quite sure what Games for Impact meant.
I can't tell you offhand.
Okay.
I think it was made in a developing country.
Oh, okay, I see.
So that's
Oh yes. He said. Oh God, what did he say? New Caledonia. Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Yoshida specifically mentioned a country. Okay. Trailers for Tales of Kenzera Zhao, which looks like solid platforming. Is my only note.
Wait, it's a Tales of game.
No.
Oh.
I believe it takes place in a fictitious African nation of some design. I think the guy, I don't know who the guy on stage was. I think he was the lead, but he was talking about how it's about how he lost his father, and it's kind of about that. But the trailer just made it look like really fun, frenetic, solid platforming, which I'm on board with that.
Sure.
Trailer for Lost Records: Bloom and Rage from the Life is Strange dev team. I have no idea. Trailer for The First Berserker: Kazan, and I only have a note below it that just says sure. So I guess it looked okay to me. Then we got another musical interlude with the FF7 Rebirth theme. Jeff Keighley trips over Nobuo's name and calls him Nobuo Utematsu.
Right.
My only note: song is fine.
But we got to see new footage of FF7 Rebirth.
Sure. Yeah, it looked fine.
It was a Nobuo Uematsu song, that's for sure. Definitely a vocal one, too.
Utematsu.
Excuse me, but you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
I say this a lot. Uematsu, I feel like, peaked with FF6 and has just kind of been coasting for about the past 25 years.
Well, I'll say 8.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, no, like
9 as a gimme.
Like every soundtrack he's done since then has had good tracks. It's just been the ratio has been a lot less.
I don't know. FF8's pretty good in many ways.
It's got some good stuff on it. Yeah. All right. And then Apex Legends cross Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. The only note I have here is I just wrote in all caps, "They found Cloud's sword."
Right.
I don't know what I meant by that.
And you can have it in a $19 treasure box, I'm sure.
Awesome. All right, a handful of awards. I think I guessed most of these. Best score in music, FF16, a Soken joint. I called that one. Best independent game. This one didn't sit well with me, but Sea of Stars.
No, well,
which is like I said, it's
can't say I'm surprised.
It's visually, it's beautiful. It's got a good soundtrack. It's just how is that the best independent game?
Well, at least
the stories and characters are just not there.
At least it is an identifiable indie game, because a lot of people were having discourse over the fact that Dave the Diver was considered an indie game.
Oh, is it not?
No, it's made by NCSoft, which is one of the biggest Korean game companies.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It's like an internal studio within NCSoft. So.
Okay.
I apologize. Nexon, not NCSoft. they made it seem. I mean, the company deliberately made it look like an indie game in many ways, not just aesthetics, but in that sort of studio sense. So, I don't really care. Whatever.
Yeah, neither do I.
This shit is all meaningless.
Best community supports Baldur's Gate 3.
All right, I guess they really supported their community.
The next two I guessed because I think they're extremely easy to guess. Best fighting game was Street Fighter 6, and most anticipated game was FF7 Rebirth. A trailer for, I just wrote some anime thing because I didn't see a title card or anything.
Wait, say it again. I'm sorry.
I don't know. No, I don't know the title because I just wrote some anime thing. And then my only note is, why are waifus designed to be fuckable piles of cake frosting?
What was this?
It was some anime. It looked like, I don't know.
Oh, was this Zenless Zone Zero?
No, it was not. I'll get there.
God dang it.
I don't know. I just wrote some anime thing because it just looked like anime waifus doing action. I have no fucking idea what it was, and it can't be that important if they didn't tell us the goddamn title. Next up, we had a nice trailer for Blade, which I thought looked pretty cool.
Yeah, Blade
I mean, I
by
don't think there was no-
Arcane, which should be interesting. Yes. And it takes place in France.
Yeah. Best
Yeah, wouldn't-
ongoing game.
Wait, I have a joke.
Go.
I'm sure a million people already said. Wouldn't it be funny if the Blade game comes out before the movie?
That would be fun.
The new movie is in development hell, I heard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Who's have they cast a Blade?
Yeah, that was like the first thing they showed.
Oh. Okay.
Mahershala Ali is Blade.
Okay, sure. Best ongoing game, Cyberpunk 2077. All right. I
Okay.
Now, some of the other nominees, Genshin Impact was a nominee. That was my guess, because I don't know anything about...
Yeah, an actual ongoing game.
Yeah.
Getting 9 million patches and then an expansion doesn't count.
Yeah.
Qualify as an ongoing game.
FF14 was also a nominee, but I was pretty confident that would not be it, because it hasn't really had a good year, I don't think.
Okay.
Like, I love FF14, but even by Yoshi P's own admission, like, the FF14 output was less.
Probably because of 16, right?
Compared to, well, yeah, I mean, not just because Yoshi P is also was working on 16 and doing whatever he does for Dragon Quest X as well, but the Relic weapon quest line is very scant. It's very slim. It's typically the Relic weapon process in each expansion involves a lot of work and questing and new areas, and in this time around it's just watch some cutscenes and then buy these materials. Hey, you got the upgrade.
Yeah.
And people had complained about that. I don't care particularly, but people had complained, and Yoshi P was like, yeah, whatever, go play other games.
Yeah.
Yoshi P was very, very vocal on the live streams of like, guys, thanks for your support. Please take a break and go play other games.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Have you tried this Cyberpunk 2077?
Yeah. Yeah, so the two guys who accepted that award were played off. I will say this, the award was presented by Anthony Mackie, who I think was he's the only person on that stage tonight who is good off the cuff and good at riffing.
Yes.
He was actually charming.
Yes, he was actually a presence.
Yes! Instead of just, sounds are what come out of the speakers of the games, and we need them to create the environment.
Webster's defines video as and game as
A series of moving images. Did these images move you?
Webster's defines utematsu as
All right, very quick, let's run through some trailers. Last Sentinel,
all right. Hope they find the first one.
The First Descendant. We did, it's The First Descendant,
Oh,
and that's
okay.
next. Zenless Zone Zero. At first I thought Jeff misspoke. I thought, he meant to say Endless Zone Zero, because Zenless is not a word. Oh. All right.
Oh, I suppose you want real words to be used, like Exodus?
My only note is cel-shaded Animu action.
Yeah.
Trailer for something called Mecha Break. Helldivers 2. Warhammer 40k. Space Marine 2.
Now that might actually be good. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a
Looks pretty
Warhammer
cool.
fan.
Well, I mean, it looks cool. You don't have to be a fan. You can just enjoy a video. No, I'm just kidding.
I guess. Next up, we have a musical guest. The Old Gods of Asgard, which I guess is a fictitious band from Alan Wake.
Oh, yeah, the Alan Wake musical horseshit. Yeah.
I have in parentheses Poets of the Fall. I guess that's a real band.
All right.
Yeah, my only notes about this are, as it was going on and I was figuring it out, I just wrote, is this a musical? Oh, it's from Alan Wake. Sure.
Yes, there is a
Seemed
musical
fine.
sequence in Alan Wake 2.
Okay, seems fine.
Sure.
All right. GTFO, the final chapter.
Mhm.
Den of Wolves, same dev as above, is what I wrote. Something called Exoborn. Asgard's Wrath 2.
Okay.
The
Covering this
Fallout Amazon Prime series.
That's right.
And the cast from that came on to present for Best Adaptation, which was won by The Last of Us, which I guessed. And honestly, I only guessed that one the way that I guessed a lot of these, which is, which one does the crowd react to the most when they read them?
Exactly.
You know, it's
God love the video game awards.
pretty good. Oh, the funniest thing about Best Adaptation, though, was when the guy read it out, he just goes, and Best Game goes to The Last of Us.
No, boy.
Yeah, just...
And then
Okay.
they hooted even louder.
Okay, so a trailer for something called Light No Fire, which looks like the new game from the No Man's Sky team, which is a procedural fantasy MMO.
Yeah, that's
All right.
kooky.
An RTS called Stormgate.
Yep, I'm sure there'll be some gates to storm.
Best Action Adventure Game was another easy to guess one, Tears of the Kingdom. Best RPG was Baldur's Gate 3. I guessed FF16. I was dead wrong.
You blew it. You
I
blew,
blew
it.
it.
No one cares.
Be-
It's over, Alex. It's over.
Oh boy, that's fun. Best Sim / strategy was Pikmin 4.
Oh, God. Okay.
Yeah, I did not guess that. Best Sports / racing was Forza Motorsport. And then the next two, I guessed Best Multiplayer and Player's Voice Award are both Baldur's Gate 3.
Mm-hmm.
Folks are loving it. All right, trailer for Guilty Gear Strive's new character and mode. Whatever. Trailer for the two FF16 DLCs, Echoes of the Fallen, which I guess is out now, and The Rising Tide, which is out spring 2024.
Now, are those free?
I don't know.
God.
I doubt it.
Okay. Yeah, maybe not.
Now, so in the Rising Tide trailer, they specifically mentioned Mysidia, which is an FF4 town. And it's weird to me when like non-FF14 Final Fantasy start incorporating other stuff, because like that's the point of FF14. FF14 is Final Fantasy : the fanwank : the game.
Yeah. The greatest
It's like
hits.
it is. It's like it's got its main story, which is great, but then all the ancillary content is
Yeah.
Final Fantasy's greatest hits, and that's
You
what's
got-
kind of fun about it.
You got Evilise, you got Magitech armor.
Yes, they're all
the
there.
things, yeah.
So like, I heard Mysidia was in the new FF16 DLC. I'm like, all right, sure, I guess. Best game direction, Alan Wake 2. I knew it was either going to be Alan Wake 2 or Baldur's Gate 3 because they're just winning everything tonight. They seem to be the real favorites this year.
Mhm.
That's a trailer for something called The Finals.
It's an online game.
All right. New Monster Hunter trailer, Monster Hunter Wilds.
Yeah,
And then, of course,
that's funny.
Game of the Year. Baldur's Gate 3.
I was a little bit surprised that the big trailer to end on was Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
And not that I hate Monster Hunter, and I know it's very popular, and I know it's a big deal for Capcom especially, but it does kind of bring the whole Game Awards news thing down a bit in my eyes. It's like, oh, it's that? Well, okay. I mean, sure, it's good looking and all that. It's just not what you'd come to expect, I guess. Am
Monster
I being
Hunter
too
is
negative?
No.
I'm not really going to walk away going, that sucked. I don't really care, but this is just an observation.
Monster Hunter is a series that has never clicked with me, and I am afraid that at this point it never will.
Maybe not, yeah.
Because I've tried. I tried back on the PS2, I tried back on the PSP, and I tried
Yeah.
again with Monster Hunter Rise. And every time I'm just like, I don't get it.
It absolutely is one of those games where it either hits or it doesn't. And
Yeah.
you just have to accept it. And yeah.
But like, I wish it did.
Yeah.
I wish it did because I hear people talking about it. I'm like, that sounds awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, that game sounds great. And then I played it and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It doesn't happen to everybody. It only happens to some people. Now I gotta say, calling it Monster Hunter Wilds as what appears to be a proper sequel to Monster Hunter World is kind of funny. Maybe the next Zelda will be called Breath of the World.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope it is called that. I hope they do that.
Tears of the Breath? I don't know. I'm done.
Well, I mean, they're sticking with this blank of the blank format, right, for Zelda. So
Maybe,
it would have.
yeah.
I think the next one's going to be The Legend of Zelda: the Breath of Fire.
Right.
Okay.
Waker of the Wind?
Buster of Doors.
Oh, boy.
All right.
Doorbuster deals at your local Zelda dealer.
That's what I was talking about. that was only fresh in my mind because Smoo and I went shopping on Black Friday against our better judgment.
At Aonuma Nissan. Holiday doorbusters.
Oh man.
All right.
That's going to stay with me all day.
Oh, good. You're welcome.
Game of the Year, of course, presented by Timothy Chalamet, who I've heard has been in some movies, but I remember from a tweet by Tufan Najafi, which is Timothy Chalamet sounds like the name of a very wealthy mouse.
So he, as a kid, he has gamer roots. Timothy Chalamet.
Yes, yeah. I had to Google this as it was happening because I didn't know what was going on when Jeff Keighley introduced him as Modded Controller 360.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah. He used to mod 360 controllers. Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
Take videos of it on YouTube. Yeah.
I love it.
Nice work if you can get it, but also being a huge movie star is nice work if you can get it.
That's also, that pays pretty well.
Yeah, probably better than the controller
all right.
thing.
That's the Game Awards 2023, everybody.
All
we
right.
did it. We got through another one. Do you have any questions? Yes, you there.
Is there a new Donkey Kong?
I'm afraid not. Check back next year.
All right.
Anybody else? Nope. All right.
All right.
We're going to take a quick break and we're going to come back with segment 3.
Great.
Now.
見えない窓の向こうかき割りの夕べ彩る足元に落ちゆく影だけ探し続ける何もないのに一人佇んで
Folks, welcome back to No More Whoppers. You're in it now. I'm Alex. That's Ray.
I'm Ray.
We did it. We're firmly in segment 3.
All right, good.
We discussed the Game Awards. We discussed how I'm trying to be fun.
Yep, I can hear it in your voice.
Trying to have fun.
You're trying your
And,
best.
We're trying to dodge cynicism and snark where it seems ever pervasive in our lives as we get older.
Ooh, dodging it like Captain America and that cool shield he's got. Pew,
That's-
ping, pong, wow.
Well, that's not, I mean,
Those are-
technically, well, blocking and parrying are not the same as dodging, as any RPG will tell you,
True enough.
Raymond. Come
Yeah.
on.
Or fighting game.
Or fighting game. I heard Third Strike's at Evo this year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Are you in?
That's a shocker that a Japanese
Yeah.
fighting game tournament officially would have an old game in it.
Yeah.
My God.
I
What do
love
they
it. Though.
think?
I love Third Strike. I suck at it, but it is one of the most beautiful games I've ever seen in action. It's because you know I'm a big sprite pixel nerd. It's just top to bottom gorgeous, nothing but gorgeous sprites.
They put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into it.
They did, and they don't do that anymore. I mean, they do, but polygons are not my bag, Ray.
Yeah.
It's not been a busy month for the bar. And I'll tell you this, it's nice to have confirmation that the whole industry sucks and it's not just me.
Yeah.
Because I got, I think I mentioned this, I got a job recently reading out English news for Nikkei for one of their apps.
All right.
And one of the news stories I had to read was about how the Japanese government is going to allow more tax write-offs for food and beverage expense from companies. And the whole reason behind it is so that, companies and corporate employees expense more things, more food and drink to help the flailing bar and restaurant businesses.
Yeah.
Because it's they're not great post-pandemic. And
Right.
oh boy, yeah, I had nobody at the bar yesterday. I just stood alone by myself for 6 hours playing Super Mario RPG. Did I have fun? You bet. But I would like to also have fun and make money.
That's the life.
That's what this show is for.
Yeah.
Folks, we need your help to do this full time.
Someone does.
What does that mean?
Not me.
Oh.
I don't want your money.
You talking to me?
I'm just kidding. I do.
Here you go.
Not you.
Here. I'm going to Venmo you a Snapchat.
Now you got a bar to take care of. You don't know. No, not your money.
I did have a nice visit from Jero, who is back again. That was nice.
That's
'cause,
right.
He's finishing up his time in Japan. He's going to head on back to those United States.
That's crazy.
He's doing what he calls his farewell tour. It was very good to see him again. Always good to see that guy.
Did he or can you share why?
Or
what he's doing?
Yeah, yes and no.
Okay, well, fair enough.
As in, yeah, I don't think I will share.
I was just curious.
Here's what he did share though: is I was complaining about my wife,
My wife.
No, I love my wife.
Okay.
I was complaining about my parents' house and their lack of washlets on the toilets.
Oh boy.
Because like it's the thing I missed instantly when I left Japan.
No,
Is
wait,
like
lack? Because
yes.
Do they have at least one?
What? No, I mean they have zero.
Oh, okay.
Lack doesn't necessarily imply that there are a few.
Well, it doesn't not imply it.
Lack just means there's not enough, and zero's absolutely not enough.
I would have used a different word, is what I'm saying.
Fine. You want me to say take that again? I'll take it again.
No, you don't have to take it again.
No, I do though.
I'm not saying you're stupid. I'm just saying I'd use a different word. You don't have to take it again.
You are saying
again.
that. Yeah.
Here, cut me out. I'm gone.
Are you?
You know what?
No!
I don't have to bother you. I'll just get out of here. All right? Look, it's
Come
okay.
back!
Just do the rest of the show. You're fine. You're fine.
Raymond, come back. No, I need
Hey, Dragon Ball Z sparking.
you. You need to drive me back to my car after. You need to drive me back to my car after we return the trailer.
I'm in
Raymond.
long-term parking. It's costing me a fortune.
What was I even talking about? Washlets.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess now that all has to stay in. So yeah, I was very disappointed at my parents' house. Complete absence of washlets after becoming used to them in Japan, and especially now that we have, I've been living with one for over a decade now. They're outstanding, and everyone should have them. And then I go back to my parents' house. A nicer house than I will ever have, ever in my life. And they're still using, these toilets like they're out of 1952 or whatever the fuck.
They could always leave it to you.
I don't want to pay the tax on that.
Now, to be clear, you mean a washlet in terms of the full-on attachment or just the bidet portion?
The full on. Well, what do you mean? What do you think the full
When
on
I think
attachment is?
washlet, I do think of the branded product from Toto, which
Oh,
is
is that a
like
brand?
this whole toilet seat thing, where it's not just a bidet, but it's also like the extra comfort features, like the heated seat or something. And
Oh no, yeah, no. I just mean the bidet part of it.
all right, sure.
I don't necessarily need the heated seat, but I was complaining about this to Jero, and he said, "Me too." That's why I bought a portable one. You can just buy them. There's a portable one. I think that he bought off Amazon, and he sent me the link. And yeah, it's a travel thing. It just has its own pouch, and you take it with you. And I'm like, that's brilliant. No one should ever have to poop that way again without it.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah, the portable bidet. Yeah.
So I'm, very seriously considering. I don't know. I don't do much travel. I only visit like maybe once a year. No, I mean, I used to visit once a year, but post-pandemic, this is my first trip back in 4 years.
Yeah, word up.
If I'm back again for 2 more weeks next time, I think I'm just going to take one with me.
Yeah.
Because, oh boy, it is rough.
Well, I married a Vietnamese woman, and
You did.
she made it. Excuse me. And she did make a point to always have a bidet on every single toilet in the house.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
And in fact, in Vietnam, their bidet, the typical bidet is more like a sprinkler gun, like from a sink.
Uh-huh.
It's very similar to that. And
Okay. It's
so
like a
it-
super soaker that you have to pump,
No, it just looks like a sink sprinkler.
and then you have to fire it into your own butt?
You do fire it, yes. But
Okay.
yeah, it's not quite the full-on automatic luxury that a
Okay.
typical bidet would be.
Um,
But you can
Do
buy
you
the
think-
attachments. And, yeah.
do you think there's a brand in Australia called Bidet Mate?
We have some Australian listeners. Why don't we just ask
do?
them to call 805 NMW Talk and just tell us?
Yes. Please do that.
Because we need a topic for voicemail. We don't have voicemails today.
We do. We got nothing.
No.
Putting out an action item.
Yeah.
I also got a visit from a Nomoa listener, JP. It was very nice to see JP come on
Jeremy
in.
Parrish.
No.
Oh.
Jurassic Park.
Oh, okay.
No, I did confirm that their name does not stand for Jurassic Park, unfortunately, because I think that would be a cool name.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Okay.
Yeah. Right? You could introduce yourself. Hi, I'm Jurassic Park. This is
Like when I was talking about the dog named Cool Runnings.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why can't more people just be named after movies? Hi, this is my wife, Lake Placid.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. This is our son, the Care Bear movie.
And this is my daughter, Lolita. Oh, wait, no.
Wait, no.
Oop.
This is my son, Mitchell.
My son.
It's never enough Mitchell references.
No, not for us.
Not for us.
No, we can go 8 hours.
Well, that's fun. I am slowly dealing again. Still, I don't know what to say with my my tax issue. Remember, we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
How like I contacted this tax firm out in California, and I'm like, "Can you do this?" And they said yes, and then they charged me and didn't do it.
Yeah, they ended up screwing you over.
Yeah. I filed a Better Business Bureau complaint.
Yeah.
That basically says, "Hey, you didn't do anything.
Uh-huh.
Can I get a refund?" And then, miracle of miracles, I get a reply from them that's like,
oh.
"Sorry, we'll do it now."
Oh, my goodness.
And I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, I wasn't prepared for that."
Yeah, who would be?
But then they're like, the wrinkle was, "Yeah, we can do it." And I suspect this is why it didn't get done in the first place. They were just like too. I don't want to say. I don't know if they're busy, but they were just. They just couldn't be fucked to actually tell me about this. But they said, "Yeah, we can do it, but like all the documents you submitted are in Japanese, and Japanese is hard. So like, could you translate them for us and then send them in?" And I was like, "All right, fine. If it'll get it done, yes." Because when I had the Zoom call with the guy almost a year ago, he assured me they would translate them themselves.
Right.
And then it turns out, oh no, we can't do that. All right, cool. Thanks, guys.
The guy who said he would do that left.
Yeah, his name is Kensuke, and he was replaced by Phil, and Phil doesn't know how to do that.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
So it took an afternoon. I basically spent an afternoon, and I did this the fast way too, which was I just called my wife into the room, and about 100 times I was just like, "What's that kanji? Now what's that kanji?" Because for whatever reason I could not run it through Google Translate. It would not convert it to anything readable.
Truthfully, it was you and Ruri spending an afternoon doing it.
Yes. Well, she was only her part only took about 10 minutes.
Okay,
fortunately,
she was on kanji duty. That's right.
She was on kanji duty. It took about 10 minutes to just write out all the kanji, and then I looked them up, and then made sure that was what the reading was supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had to spend time actually adding all of these to about a dozen PDFs.
Oh my God.
And then just for good measure, I sent all the translations in a separate Word document.
Yeah.
Because fortunately, all these kanji are preceded by a code, by a number.
Yeah.
So I was able to just add the number in the Word document. So in the event that those accountant folks don't understand a thing I've translated, they can run the kanji directly into another translation service and see if they get something that better suits what they know.
Cool. Yeah.
Because I don't know. I don't know the terms that they're expecting or use.
So you haven't heard from him yet?
I uploaded the translations a couple days ago, and then the guy responded saying, thank you.
Okay.
We'll get to work on this.
All right. Jesus.
So we'll see. Yeah, I know. I just want it done. I'm just so... And, like, I know that this is all baseless paranoia and worry. Like, I know that the odds are nothing is going to happen if I don't do this.
But it's peace
like...
of mind.
It's peace of mind.
Peace of mind.
I like to think that I do.
I mean, okay. Well, I had another tax thing is that I apparently didn't have my LLC tax return filed. I thought the person I paid to do all of our taxes had e-filed it. And even though the California Tax Board says that they are backed up like 8 months, 8 months went by and I still went on their website and didn't see any record of them receiving my return.
Oh.
So I finally just bit the bullet and just like, okay, let's just send it in the mail and see what happens. And they're going to charge me some, late penalty. And it'll probably be like an extra $100 on top of my LLC fee. What the fuck ever. Let's just get it done. Because I've also been... I have this whole text file, which is like a diary of my LLC tax mishaps.
Oh.
Just because I kept fucking it up every year. I was just like, I gotta like keep track of everything I'm doing and see if the lesson I learned last year will apply to next year. This year it did not apply. So I gotta do this all over again.
Oh boy.
And probably pay another late fee. I'm stupid, but not so stupid as to not choose a different accounting site next time.
Cool.
So yeah, that's my tax folly.
Love it.
Looking forward to 2024. Maybe I'll get it right this time. Fantastic. Well,
who can say?
For me here on the West Coast of America, it has struck 11 o'clock. Shall we wrap up the show?
Let's wrap it up. It's 4 p.m. here. I got to get to work soon. We've got some Golder subscribers coming in tonight. Cameron Blatchford from God's Own Vancouver is back in Japan. We're going to hang out. We're going to talk about West Coast stuff.
All right.
I'm looking forward to it, but also I'm just also looking forward to having human contact with someone after last night of not having that.
After being in a dank pit.
Yes!
But the dank, Alex, the dank.
I know.
Well, all right. Well, thanks.
That's us.
That's us. That's No More Whoppers. Thanks for listening. You can go to our website, nomorewhoppers.com, and take care of everything you need to do No More Whoppers related. And that includes no, Alex, nothing that involves a bidet, hopefully. But that includes our Patreon, patreon.com/nomorewhoppers. Please give us some money. We'd love it. $1 a month just to be a cool gold subscriber, or $5 a month to be a Golder subscriber and get this show a week early and ad-free and access to our bonus shows, Gold in 16 Seconds, and our new show, A Game Site About Nothing, the Crunk Games Podcast. Still talking about our old website. It's fun times indeed. Please check it out. And maybe someday we'll do something else with Patreon. Who knows? We actually have...
Oh, we're gonna. Yes, we have an idea.
We have an idea for another new show.
Yeah.
We'll let you know when it's time.
Hey. We'll let you know when it's time.
2024. Please look forward to it, Des.
Yeah.
All right. And our merch can be found at shop.spreadshirt.com/nomorewhoppers. I hope. I haven't even checked it in months, but sometimes we get money from it. And our voicemail, 805-NMW-TALK, is the number to call. That is 805-669-8255. You can talk about anything that you heard on the show or something else that you'd like to have us answer or pontificate on. Please keep it short, though. God,
please keep it under 60 seconds.
Yeah, a minute's great. But you know what? You don't even have to let us hear your voice. You can let us read your words. Our email is still nomorewhoppers@gmail.com.
Oh, that's right. We can take emails.
Yeah, I mean it's one or the other. Honestly, you can let us know anything you want. Any thoughts about the show, the most recent show, probably some other old show. It doesn't really matter. We'll try and figure it out for you. How about that? We're like an accountant that way.
Or you could come on the Discord and talk to us. We have someone who is not live tweeting. What do you call it? They're listening to the show from the beginning and talking about it on the Discord. Come on down. Talk about your favorite podcast. We have to be somebody's favorite podcast.
Maybe. If it's
I
the only
guess.
podcast you listen to, sure.
That's well, we've got some recommendations.
Yes,
If that's the case, you can go on the Discord. There's a whole other podcasts channel.
Yes, our Discord is free for all and a free for all. So
Yes.
please find the link on nomorewhoppers.com.
That's right.
Come
This
say
is not
hi.
one of those things where you can only access the Discord if you pay for it. This is for everybody. You do get a fancy gold or yellow name if you are on the
Yeah.
Patreon, but you can chat for free.
When someone asks you, "What are you, Yella?" you say, "Yeah."
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Somebody calls me Yella, and it's you. Awesome.
I love it. And
We-
Alex and
hi.
I are on the internet. Alex, would you like to talk about your presence on the internet?
I'm gonna. You can go to patui.org. That's Pitohui. You could also follow me on Blue Sky. I'm also patui.org there. I'm not doing Facebook anymore. I'm not doing Twitter, really. So fuck those.
Okay.
Put them in a rocket ship and send them to the sun.
Yes, please.
I do occasionally blog on co-host as well. That's Patui. I think that's it. Come to the bar. Critical hit in Nagoya, Japan, right off the Beltline.
Any more live streams this year?
Oh, God. Oh, that's right. Twitch.tv/hoodedpatui. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there'll be some. I don't know when. I'm taking a little break right now after I got burnt out after the charity stream, which was a success. Thanks to everybody who donated.
Yes, understandable.
We raised over 300,000 yen for Tel Japan. Combined
hell
with
of a
the
lot.
2023 Winter Arabiata, we have raised over 500,000 yen for Tel Japan, which is pretty good.
Okay.
I will do another charity stream next year, and I will probably do some streams just for fun, maybe a couple times a week. I don't know
Yeah,
what's
sure.
coming up next. I really want to play that Trials of Mana remake, because whenever that goes on
Oh.
sale, expect me to stream it.
Game Awards got you in a mana mood, huh?
Yes, oh, and the Discord. I think Ike and some other folks on the Discord recommended Trials of Mana.
Yeah.
So I'll play it.
Well, don't forget to enjoy Like a Dragon.
That's right. I'm also playing through Like a Dragon. I got to stream that. I have to imagine I'm at least halfway through that. We've discussed it before on the show, but it's very good, but it doesn't quite have the follow through that would have been nice.
Yep, it is exactly an RPG made by makers of a beat 'em up. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm also on the internet. rdbaaa.space is my link site, but I'm also on Blue Sky as rdbaaa.space. So go ahead and check that out if you're on there. Of course, I make video games at Bipedal Dog. Bipedal.dog is the website to check out. And I didn't even mention it on the show yet because it hasn't officially happened. But I am pretty much done with school. And so
Yay!
I'm looking for a job. If anybody has
Oh,
a job,
hell yeah.
let me know. Would be nice.
Oh, it's
But
beautiful.
yeah. All right. Well, Alex, thank you again.
Yes.
Thanks for being a good sport. Thanks for your Game Awards reportage.
Anytime.
Everybody else, keep your nose clean and we'll see you next time. Gold subscribers, stick around till after the show. It's our traditional Yuletide trip to Popeyes. You do the lead in.
Okay.
I'm bored.
Oh, excuse me.
Kidding.
That's like the reason I noped out of the Sherlock series
Oh, really?
was that line. One of the episodes opens with Sherlock just like sitting on a couch and shooting bullets into his own wall.
Ah. Okay.
And Watson comes in and says, "What are you doing?" And Benedict Cumberbatch just goes, "I'm bored."
Oh boy, that's funny.
And I was like, I just said, "Fuck you," and immediately just turned it off.
Speaking of bored Cumberbatch, have you seen he did this ad for a mobile game, one of these cheapo, extremely predatory fantasy themed mobile games, and I saw a video of it on TikTok or whatever, and it's literally just Benedict Cumberbatch sitting in a room with a suit on, just talking about how like I really appreciate the strategy in whatever game it was. I like to play as Julius Caesar. He was one of the greats. It was some really like phoned in.
Oh.
We paid him as much money as he could stand to do this, and he couldn't even stand.
Wow.
He sat in a chair. Terrible, terrible. Oh, and like they had on the giant tagline of the ad was like, "Play the global strategy game with Benedict." It's like
Friends with Benedict.
I don't think Benedict Cumberbatch should ever be on a first name basis with the world. Honestly,
No,
like,
yeah,
you really
that's-
can't
that's
say
not-
one name without the other. That's really weird.
Yeah, that's one of those names
Yeah.
that you need both of them.
Come on now. Even his wife calls him both names.
Oh. Irene Cumberbatch.
No, she can still be Irene. All right.
Okay. Oh, right, the show.